And we're back. Whoa! Let's get this hobby stream on, you gits. All right, you guys. So we're back. We're here for a hobby stream. We got pictures. We got lists that we're going to go over. Almost about 10 lists that we're going to cover. We actually have the context for each list as well. So we know what list we can actually substitute out, what terrain they're using, everything like that. And we got stuff from the Discord. Whoa! So this whole stream is about just getting involved with the community, appreciating you guys. Having an open conversation, Q&A, Mr. 2 with the runts, you know, works for the win. Whoa. Yeah, that's what I like to see, all the badges, you boys. So yeah, you guys are all here. I appreciate you being here. We got a lot to talk about. I actually have some talking about what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I got some kill tanks that I got to paint up a little bit more too. Whoa, for the horde, for the green tide. Wop wop. Hi, Eddie. I'm in the shed building some of the Stampede box. I'm hyped for the live stream. Whoa! Actually, I got the Stampede box to my personal one because we got one for the raffle as well. But I have mine. I'm super excited because I'm looking to run the 20 pain boss with the 20 Snagger boys. That's like what I'm kind of hyped about. David, you can read this.
'Twas the WAAAGH before Christmas, and all through the camp, not a gate was stirring, not even a grot. The choppers was hung by the trucks with care, in the hopes that the red gobble soon would be there.
Whoa, that was actually pretty excellent. I'm not gonna lie. And you
hard,
did a good job reading that.
That's,
That's why I was like, David, you got this. Whoa, let's go, Brandon. The Black Gobbo has all the gifts, so he's the baddest git. All right, you gits. Mr. 2, swing, rejoice, chop. He's still singing. Getting out through the member chats as well real quick before I pull up the pics from the Discord. I was wondering, you two brothers are only Brutus of the Wall? He's my cousin, actually. David's my cousin.
Yeah.
But
also, Brutus of the Wall.
Brothers of the Wall. We all brothers. We all them boys. All right. Whoa. Hello, Eddie and David, the dynamic duo. Eddie, when will you start to use a Christmas bandana? I've actually never done that, and I've never even considered that. Maybe if you guys show me one on Discord that's interesting, I can pull up of Etsy, I'd be interested in wearing it. That's not a bad suggestion, though.
An ugly bandana.
Just pull one up, and I'll get it myself. I'm not saying get it for me. I'm trying to finish up these Storm Boys, these Mega Knobs, and these 3 trucks. That's what I'm talking about.
That's Wicked Joe, too. Is that for tomorrow?
Oh, that's Wicked. Hey, Wicked Joe. So tomorrow, guys, we're talking about this. We
have it's called the WAAAGH before Christmas. It's a 40K apocalypse game.
Yes. But with 10th edition type rules. So we're not using the 8th edition apocalypse rules. The guy did a great job of actually getting his own rules set up. He has custom stratagem, mission. There's actually mission play in this one. Just so you guys know, everything blows up on the 4+. Boom. But everybody gets to move before they do their explosion and actually gets to utilize their models once. So that's why I decided to bring 6 Titanic units. Bam! Got an RTT tomorrow. It's 3 a.m. Could have missed the live stream. Whoa! Hey, but you should go to sleep and then hit me up. I'm pretty sure we're covering not only some of the models, which we're going to talk about. But since you're here, speaking of, whoa! So this actually, guys, is my gargantuan squig-off that orc daggers. I can point at them. Daggers is actually custom building and then painted. Yes, this is not a 3D print. Sorry for your gits. This is actually custom put together based off like a toy and then a bunch of green stuff for like the arms and then official GW bits. He has knock your teeth out on one side. He did a great job for us here. Of course, this commission, he's not giving it to me. This is, awesome work, and I definitely want to pay him for that stuff. So I just like to show it off because I'm excited to run this on RTTs. Even at GT level, I'd run it. I mean, if God willing and Gork and Mork blessings, we can get this for Adepticon maybe. Because awesome. He's trying to actually ship this to me soon, but he lives in England. So shout out to Daggers, Brothers of the Wall. So yeah, this is my gargantuan squig-off. Very beautiful. And like I said, guys, we actually have lists to cover today too. So don't sleep on the fact that it's just picks. Because I got a lot of stuff for that. What's he saying? He goes, just winging it. Man, you guys are late, dude. Mr. 2, look at Mr. 2. 3 a.m. out there, boy. You get from everywhere. Whoa! Oh, you haven't seen you in a minute, Schmook. Wait.
Schmuckalo?
Yes, for tomorrow. I think I'll finish, but we try. Exactly. This is on. I got one of my kill tanks, and I'm just it's just battle ready kind of thing. And I'm gonna paint it purple right now. Get it more ready. Everything I'm gonna bring is gonna be painted, but it's not going to be like to its best potential. It's not going to have to be finished. You just get whatever you can. I'm sure a lot of people would just come with like maybe stuff not even glued together, right? Like from the
for
type, like
sure.
people are gonna bring knights. I assume just for transporting, they might not even glue them together. Make a bandana out of squig socks from the GW merch store. Oh, I do got a big ass head though. All right, all right, just say it. Whoa, gargantuan squig off. He said, "Is that an Orks blood axe symbol on the side?" Yes, I'm pretty sure that is. I'm a fan of the blood axes, so that's a good call out, the Commissar, because me personally, I always said that was the clan that I slightly liked more because they're just a little bit more deep, right? The fact that they actually think about, like, they're self-conscious and self-aware of their own flaws, how they can improve in ways that aren't just running and getting murked. Like, they actually care to win, and I really appreciate that too. And my faction kind of started, I was going to paint them all orange, but then that got too hard. But then I still really like death skulls. So then I decided to just mix purple and orange. I mean, purple and blue, and it doesn't make orange, but that's the idea, is I just went for orange to kind of get in between. So yeah, I like blood axes is my point. So that being said, this is the other part of the picture. And then another pick real quick I wanted to show before we get on to the first list. And then Brandon, I'm pretty sure I'm covering one of your lists today. So yeah, we got right here. I really appreciate this custom hood right here, man. So we have one of the coolest sticking on your left, the Big Mac, custom Big Mac and Mega Armor. So if you guys don't know what that is, that's actually the older version of Gaz, right before he got his head cut off by Ragnar, the model that he has. That's his model, popped off, put on with most likely an Orc Commando or a mech head, and then he took a knob, Choppa and Big Axe, Big Choppa. That's what the guy on the right is. As for the left, maybe some AOS thing. I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you guys know. Let us know, because that's a sick mount.
Yeah, that looks like just a straight up knob, like a big thick knob with a crazy looking mount. So love to see that. And then what we would do this I was gonna because I want to look at the first list. Yeah, you ready to look at the first list now? Let's look at the first list. But yes, this is a beautiful, beautiful models. This is probably one of the sickest conversions in a different version of a Big Mac and Mega Armor. Usually, you see people using the AOS guy with an axe already, right?
Yeah.
But this is actually really orky to have two melee weapons, kind of like the Beast Boss. All right, he has his big claw, because to him it's just a hand. It's not like they take him off. That's surgically engineered on them. So really, he's always gonna have that and a chopper, because and he said the head on the left is from a knob, so it's from a knob set even. So there you go.
Nice.
I appreciate that. So dude, super sick. I really love that. Let's look at the first list you get. So I don't get to see because I don't get to like name these notepads, but hey, here we go. So the first one we're starting with Big Mac Brandon. So they're right off the bat. Let me see, make sure everybody's seeing it. Yep, are they seeing it? So Big Mac Brandon's list. We have, David, if you want to start with it, actually.
Yeah, starting off, he's still running, and I'm very happy that he still is running the Death Killer Wartrike with Super Cyborg body. Yeah, Brandon was one of the first ones to actually make this loadout popular and actually run it.
Oh yeah, and running at RTT and I think GT level too.
Yes.
So he was ahead of it, and he's also calling this post data slate jank because he put a little new things on here after watching the channel a bit. So then he has
Gazgul Thraka.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right.
And then he's still running Captain Badrock, knob on Smasher Squig, two of them, one with Head Wappa's Kill Choppa. And then here's one of our favorite tech pieces.
Yeah, my favorite.
The knob with wall banner.
Knob with the wall banner. All right, and then a war boss. And what I told him is, hey, he didn't even run any enhancements, and we'll go into why he thought he didn't need that. Normally, Brandon, I know for a fact, likes to run double bricks of squigs. And one thing I wanted to point out is he did not. He chose to opt for, instead of a Maz, he has a Death Killer Wartrike as his distraction / pressure pulling away unit. So instead of a Maz for that, he decided Death Killer Wartrike might have enough to do that. 20-man unit of boys, only one truck. So you can see, just like I did as well, is we're kind of looking at Sean Naden's list and looking at how would we want to modify it more towards our style, with still having the availability and the flexibility of maximizing the knob with wall banner and the boys. And the best way that I agree with him is the battle wagon, right? Battle wagon, you get to stage it somewhere in the middle field, like behind one of those nice GW terrains. If they do get a line of sight on it, you can disembark, hopefully out of charge range, hopefully still hidden to a certain extent. Or if it's a matchup you're not worried about, or it's the end of the shoot phase, disembark closer to the enemy and then maximize that also as well. Then
we got the flash kits, of course, 2 units of Gretchen, and what is this? Two-man Mega Knives.
Okay.
With the power claws.
And that's it. Okay, that's interesting actually. And then 2 bricks, and then 1 more biker unit. Okay. So right off the bat, this kind of stuck out to me, right? He's deciding I'm going to bring 2 units of Mega Knobs that are 2-mans. And you would think, maybe why wouldn't he stick these? Like just combine both units and then just stick them both with gas. And it's because, one, I think you make the profile bigger for all the people who are wondering why I didn't do this. I'm assuming it's because when you put them in that big profile, it just becomes way too easy to shoot. But the enemy gets to the initiative on it. And then you get to kind of use that small unit of Mega Knobs to do actions like throw them in like the GW terrain, right? They do have corners and pockets, and some RTTs and whatever allow you to have first floor line of sight blocking, right? So you can actually stick that unit of Mega Knobs at two guys, put them in the middle to do a secondary, put them in the corner of the table to try to do a secondary, bring them in from strategic reserves. And they're not just getting picked up from indirect and stuff. So for anybody watching and going, why would he not just combine those? A lot of new people would just say gas plus all Mega Knobs means I crump. No, really just 2 Mega Knobs all you need, because you're trying to hide gas, stage him, follow the battle wagon to an extent, and that mob boy unit. The Mega Knobs are just there, 1, so you don't get grenaded, and 2, so that you can get devastating wounds on the wall. Other than that, those knobs, the 2 Mega Knobs are not there for the offensive potential. They can help a little bit, but now as for what I think about this, actually, you tell me what you think about this, because I'm like, what do you think from here? No mobs.
He's still going the battle wagon with Orks?
Yeah, but I don't. You're not put. No,
No,
but I don't think so. But what I was in it. No,
I'm not implying that he was doing that. I
edition.
just wanted to get my.
Last edition, no, you cannot do that. I always mess that up. Last edition, you could, and this edition, I think you can. It depends on the gun you put on it that diminishes the transport capacity. The whole point is, I know he's not putting it with that. That's a good thing to bring up, though. Is he's not putting gas in the battle wagon, and most people are not. They can just run him up the table and stage him behind terrain. For anybody who's wondering, the boys go in there. It makes their profile way smaller. They don't get subject to fire to small pity patter fire and blast weapons so easily. Turn 1 can run up the table easier and such. Turn 2. So I really like this, and it's interesting that he chose not to drop the flash kits.
Yeah, right? I thought that was interesting. Considered the title for the list.
Another thing here is one thing that I want to bring up. Not that I'm, because this is the whole point of this is review list. The AP. I'm gonna say one thing here is you're lacking AP other than the gas unit. Right, that's the one thing is, let's say my list or Sean Naden's that we've seen as well, because we're all kind of close around the same thing. And Sean Naden will say is the one who has the archetype right now. Is he made sure to bring knobs and then Mega Knobs to deal with those armor skirmishes that are happening. That way he can get cheap kind of trades in and such like that. I do think you kind of do need AP, but it does come down to the thing of, do you want flash kits? Or do you want knobs? Then that's when, right? Or do you want these squigs? I know for him, though, he really, really appreciates the squigs. And I feel like he personally hasn't had issue with AP. So that's just my one, food for thought is I personally would miss AP on my list, whether it comes in the form of more Mega Knobs or knobs themselves. But everything else I appreciate, because the Death Killer War Trike is like a cheaper version of Moss, or at least what he's trying to do on the table halfway, right? That's also why he's cheaper. And then the flash kits are instead of the knobs, right? And then he was saying flash kits are good for reserves. Actually, I just looked at the chat from he was saying. So he wants to put flash kits in reserve. And I think that's totally fine too, because then you don't let people dictate blowing them up and not getting shot. You can go, oh, you're on that side of the table, bring them in. I have my 24 inches, blah, blah, blah. I personally have left them on table most of the games, but Brad Chester has also brought them in from reserve too, so that's totally an option.
Yeah, and you could always rapid ingress them so they can get that movement to get where they want to be.
And then it's matchup dependent, but that's how he likes to play, and everybody's a little different. So bam. So yeah, he like he said, he doesn't care about AP because he believes in weight of dice. That's what his response in chat. But that's how I feel about that list. I would see this as, right, if we're going to put this on the table, guys, for everybody watching, you have the big unit of battle wagon, the battle wagon and Gaz are going to stage up in the middle. They're ready to jump out, take either the middle objective or bully another objective, either with OC, pure bodies, or popping sustain/lethal, right? Because if Makari's still alive and you call the WAAAGH, then you use Unbridled Carnage that becomes critical 5s. You use the compounding effect of lethals and sustains on 5 for that 20-man unit of boys. The knob with Wall Banner by himself is 5 OC. So you're looking at 45 OC from that unit itself, not including the War Boss and his fights. Then you have the War Boss, the knob, and the knob with Wall Banner with their Power Claw attacks. So if you do have to crump something that needs that as AP on it, Just stick them where you need them. So that becomes, you can demolish multiple units in a fight with that Knob with Wall banner. So that's how this list is staged out. Then you have, right, the Squig Hog boys. That's what's interesting about his list. Each Squig brick just goes on each side objective or side of the table, each flank. I'm just going to run at you with this unit of Squigs. What's good? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of bodies.
That's thickness. That's a different sense of durability. On a lucky charge, they might be within Makari's range, as well as you're going to have to try to destroy them and the battle wagon. Then you have the flash skits to support either flank that you decide is going to be your strong flank, and that's why he probably puts them in reserve, because his plan is pretty straightforward. This is the kind of list that you put forward that you don't really care about your opponent's deployment that much, because you already know battle wagon middle, Squigs on the flanks. Trike, what objective is that person to commit to? I'm going to go bother them. Boom. Okay, I'm going to go distract him on delay here, power over here, delay him over there, and keep that. Don't let him score, and I'm good over here. Bam. And then take over the board. So I really love that. Really quite interesting and balanced list. He went for weight of dice instead of AP, though. That's the one thing. So,
weighted dice is one way to beat AP.
That's been the way, because guys, one thing about this is why I agree too is since 8th edition boys had no choppas, so everything you were going to had a 3-up armor save, like everything, because you were just like whatever, bro. So dealing with Armor of Contempt, if you've been playing long enough, you understand that yes, weight of dice is always an answer, and he picked, in my opinion, the optimal units for that between Squig Hog boys and Flash Kits. So list rating as a, let's say we'll use it as a Sean Naden archetype right now. I think it's a great iteration in its own right, and I'd love to see how it plays out. So I really appreciate it. Good job, Brandon. Wait, we can delete this, right?
Yeah. We're done with it.
Peace out with that, you get. Whoa! Thanks for that. I like that. That was a good list, Brandon. I really like that you ended up bringing up the flash gets back into it. That being said, let me see some new get picks. All right, because guys, we got a lot of these pictures going in, so we're gonna alternate between a couple lists, let you guys respond who's in the chat, give us your feedback too, put some questions in, and then I'll pull up another unit, pull up some more picks. So that's how it doesn't keep going. That way it doesn't get stagnant. We have a lot of momentum. That was the name of the model that mount is from.
Swamp Boss.
It's called the Swamp Boss of Scum Drek.
Okay,
that's what this is called. The guys on the right, that funky dude with the camel toe hand.
It looks like it crawled out of a swamp.
Yeah, that's a great name. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that, Mr.
Thank you. Yeah,
so now we know. All right. S tier list already bringing 2 2-man units of Mega Knobs. Yeah, we're a fan here on the channel, guys, of bringing small units of Mega Knobs. We brought them up. I brought them up. Air 3-man units going to be the way to go. Seems like two mans are kind of enough.
Right.
It seems like because paying for the 30 points for the other one doesn't really do anything, I guess. Makes them susceptible to battle shock. The last one, like, I guess, so yeah, that's really cool. What was going on here? He goes 76 attacks, 14 power claws, 4 knob wall banner attack, and then lethal, sustain 1 and lethal on 5s, on crit 5s. Boys, that's what I'm talking about. And I brought it up in the tier list videos, and I was always talking about the knob with wall banner. And I swear, go back to that video. It's already like a month older. I put him up in good, and he was in a higher end of like B tier or whatever. Yeah. And I said he's good, but he takes a very high level player to play it. And Sean Naden figured it out because he's obviously significantly better than all of us. All right, so the next picture is this git. So he perfectly almost in his own right copied that box art perfectly. If you look at the data card in the background,
I think he did a little better. Like with the yellow, it's the actual pattern. Yeah, it has flames on the top of the Mega Knights.
Yeah, I guess the reason you don't always put flames though is because it's kind of like the Evil Sons thing. So maybe that's why the box art tried to go for like a neutral. They're just red and yellow, but that is correct. It does look better because he chose to do that. So you see, and then he has in the front the Big Mech in mega armor with KFF. So healing these guys, bringing them back up. That looks freaking beautiful. I really like that. Those guys, really good job on that. Those guys paying way better than me. And then we got another this is like a full, I like this full army kind of shot, which I need to get this up because we haven't even done my army, which is my fault. Right? My army showcase.
We need to take some time to do
army showcase. I guess you guys will see some when we go over what we're doing tomorrow.
Yeah, we might need like 2 tables though for that.
For mine, yeah, we're gonna need a lot of tables. Luckily it's like all painted, just like this git. Yeah. So we got the gas, we got the Rhino conversions and the trucks. I always like to see that with the wall. I love the battle wagon. And then that's actually Zag's truck and Storm Boys on that building in the background. So I noticed that that's pretty sick. I appreciate that. And he calls it, and he said, "My golf section of the war." That's funny because I like doing that too. My knob with wall banner unit is actually all red boys. So like my actual orc boys are purple, and like my knobs are purple, my army's purple. But I have 20 boys that when I run the knob with wall banner, they're my 20 boys. They're red because red ones go faster. You know what I'm saying? Because I usually put follow me lads on them. So I have 20 boys that are just for the knob with wall banner, and they're just painted red. Like and that's just so I do have a section kind of like that too. And I think that's like a proper WAAAGH. If we really think about it, people kind of forget that. Maybe if you're new to 40K and you look at the other factions and you think, wow, a whole Space Wolf regiment and goes and murks their whole planet and saves it, whatever they're doing. Right. And then when the Imperium has to get together, there's multiple things and then multiple Space Marine chapters, and that becomes a whole big thing. For Orks, whenever we have a WAAAGH that's significant for the Imperium to pay attention to, it is a conglomeration of clans. If it's not, then it's kind of just like a small WAAAGH, just one clan on its own, and that's not as huge as what we got, you know, especially when we're playing that. Zoomy Mans.
Yeah, just a coalition of different clans forming together.
That's why I like it. And then they beat each other up until the supreme one comes up. And then we have an objective fact here. What is this?
I have it on good authority. The red ones do go faster.
They do indeed go faster. I like that. I indeed. Okay.
Was that his one?
That's it, I guess. Yeah.
So he indeed does run Evil Sons and is eager to have a speed wall detachment again.
Yeah. So instead, because he couldn't have it, he's like, I'm just going to keep my speed wall and Big Mac. Could you imagine that? Just like they're Big Macs and Mega Armor, and then they're part of a speed wall. Like, hey, why are those guys running so fast? That's so funny. All right, I'm going to pull up another list real quick because that's what I want to see from you.
Yeah, no. Speaking of the speed wall, I'm actually running my own rendition tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
At the Apocalypse game. So, well, I got 18 war bikers.
Yeah.
I got 3 of the squig buggies, 3 of the
Hold on, before we get into that list, we're gonna bring that list back up. You telling us what your list? Cause sorry.
And then 3 of the shock jump dragsters buggies. Then I got the Death Killer War Trike, of course. Super cyborg body.
Yep.
And then I'm taking a knob on war ball or war boss on war bike.
Yeah, war boss on war bike
with the head killers.
Ed Wappa's kill
chopper.
And then we got Max.
Still getting over this.
Oh yeah, he just had COVID.
Yeah, just recovered.
Rona. I don't want to get demonetized. Yeah, so he just had Rona. So yeah, David's gonna run the speed wall. He has the wagon with all the boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, a little tech piece there.
He decided I'm gonna bring a battle wagon because I love my battle wagon. He like, I was like, bring that because I'm not. So he brought the battle wagon for the speed wall and the boys, that way we can play mission objective play, and he brought the mech workshop.
Yeah, and I got the mech workshop.
So for this big game, the Apocalypse at 12-inch aura is gonna hit 6 or 8 Titanic units, multiple heavy supports, be the most useful mech workshop ever. Yeah, so it's gonna be dope. I appreciate that. Now let's get back to this list because sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt David because he was going in and I was like, look at this. So
is Mr. 2?
No, it's Heretic. I gotta saying the name incorrectly.
Heretic?
Yes.
All right.
There's Heretic. I think Heretic's also a young individual. I think there's a young git. I think he was telling me like he's like 15 or something. He sent pictures in earlier. The same one.
It's only 1,500 points?
Yeah, there's a 1,500 point list. So let's get over it. I'm gonna go over it, sir.
All right, he's running the Beast Boss, knob on Smash a Squig with Head Wappa's Kill Chopper, of course.
Just how I like it.
Ooh, another knob with Wall Banner.
I swear, guys, I didn't pull this up. Like, I swear I didn't do that on purpose.
You didn't pick all your
I didn't even pick. I didn't.
With War Banner.
I didn't. I swear, these are the only 2 out of all the lists I promised.
Like, all right, guys, you guys need to listen to me. I'm going to bring the list all with knob with War Banner.
That's all we're covering now. That's a knob with Wall Banner. All right. Sorry.
All right, War Boss, Weird Boy, Maz, and then 120 blob of Beast Boss Snagger Boys.
That's what I'm talking about.
120 man of boys.
This dude's just going all in. I love that, dude.
On the green tide here.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going. You are, he's a lot for 1,500 points. Still pretty character heavy. Luckily, they're kind of cheap characters for the most part. Besides Maz, 1 unit of Gretchen, Mandos.
Oh, the Mandos. All right. And then 3 Squig Hog Boys, 3 Death Copters, and a Hunter Rig.
Okay, because you know what he's doing with that brick now. That's why I laugh like that. Because I go, it's kind of the same idea with the knob with Wall Banner, right? But the Hunter Rig instead, and it's taking the Beast Snagger Boys. I love it. Super thematic.
Nice.
You own the kill rig, or like you're playing 1,500 points, you can't fit the extra for that. That's the point of the Hunter Rig. Is it the most meta? No, we all know that. Who cares, dude? Like, It's very fun. But if you do have the points, you do the battle wagon. I'm assuming you're playing 1,500 points, and I know he's kind of newer into this, so he didn't say like the things he had to substitute in or anything like that. But Def Copters are great. You're gonna need to keep these alive though, my boy, because you don't have a lot of scoring units on your list, is what I'm gonna say, right? So you do have the killing potential. You have the OC to play the main mission, but what you're gonna suffer here is that you're not gonna really have anything to play the actual mission besides your Def Copters, right? Or your Gretchen, but then you're technically using your Gretchen for your home field or stuff like that, maybe a screen and such. So one thing to do is, if you don't have to have your Mandos die, you might want them to just stage and be ready in the game so that they can perform actions and just threaten the enemy, especially if they're like a gunline army, or just run up and tag them up if you can. But like, let them know, like, if you're gonna get in range, I will charge you. But in reality, don't run and explode. Like, say you need a 8-inch charge to make it, don't even waste it. Like, pre-measure it, right? Pre-measure where they're staged. Go, okay, if I move here and then I go on 8-inch to you, no, but you let him know, hey man, you move, I'm gonna get you. Because in reality, you kind of want those Mandos to gonna score secondaries or tag up the most expensive models they have, because you don't have a lot of secondary scoring potential.
Yeah, and there's secondaries there you can score multiple units, and that's where you're really gonna find trouble with is your Gretchen already doing your own deployment. Then what else you got? Because the Def Copters aren't alive.
And the thing is, commandos too, is that even when they do start to diminish and die, if you keep a couple live, they can keep scoring secondary. So that's the kind of thing that you as the general is gonna have to figure out how you're optimizing these commandos, because lucky for you, they can run up to the middle and start doing things right away.
You can also utilize the Squig Hog Boys as more of a
they can can end up doing mission and secondaries, but then you kind of feel like I could have killed something with them, or held an objective. Yeah, it's true though. You can. One thing I was going to say is with Sean Naden's list too, he did with the Not With Wall banner, he did take fixed secondaries. He was doing like deploy Talbor homers and Achilles secondary, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, so many bodies,
because you're gonna clog up the middle. So you could take, let's say, maybe a Squig Hog Boy unit and decide you're going to do it, or a Def Copter unit, or the Mandos, and then everybody else play the main mission and kill everything. So you could do that. Those are the two options for this list, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to, because I don't know what you have to substitute out. I think you did good on what you chose for your enhancements. You seem to select the points quite well. You're only 10 points. Could we try to find the points for anything else? I don't know what you have to substitute. You do have this weird boy. I guess this is a secondary potential, actually.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Don't attach him to the unit.
Yeah, I would say no, because he's most likely gonna put the war boss and these guys with the boys. So this is his secondary potential.
Yeah,
I forgot about that at first. Okay, so that's even better then. Your list is even better than we thought. But he is easy to die, and he might kill himself. So could we find 5 points so that he can get a super cyborg body or something? Ooh,
damn,
there's no
5 points
on
off a 10th edition list is not as easy as before.
Yeah, there's like no options for that. No, I don't think he can. Nah, you did good. That's it. That's I was just kind of thinking out loud. For 10 points, you can upgrade the weird boy into the war boss, but why would you do that when you are trying to use them for secondaries, right? Or I guess if you have commandos, but you probably don't have commandos, that's why you chose to solo weird boy, right? So everybody knows I'm aware of the point difference, right? For anybody watching, like Storm Boys, he might not have them, but if you do, that would be decent option, only because the weird boy does have a chance to roll a 1 and kill himself. So if you do have Storm Boys, or let's say you're new and you want to try it out, you could take 5 boys and just tell someone you're going to run them as Storm Boys and figure it out. If you're just testing it out, just so you know, that's the only suggestion I would make, at least for here. Either choose to do fixed because you don't have a lot of little guys to do it, or stay you're going to do tactical, but really be intelligent with your Mandos and your Def Copters, because those are the only, and the weird boy, because the only thing you got for scoring. 1,500 points. That's why I like it, because you do have to really, really like pay attention to your resources and stuff, and you can't just be out there trying to get killy everything the whole time. I mean, some people can, but orcs don't really play that.
Orcs aren't built for that.
Yeah, orcs aren't built like that. And this is another army list I want to show out. I'm gonna look at the chat hood in a quick, but the Ludas, I see Ludas creeping in the background. What's up? You see that on the top shelf?
Is he showing support for the Emperor here? What's going on?
No, he looted those.
Oh, okay.
Orcs just don't usually read. So
I would like to see it in a little more
they're getting
decrepit state.
Yeah,
more worn
okay,
out.
David's telling you, dude, that looks too good. You got to put a big badge on it or something. And he has the Def Copters, thick old Meganobs right there in the front with his twin kill saws, some old school kill cans right there with your Gorkanaut. I really like that. Tomorrow I'm taking the Gorkanaut, the Morkanaut, the Stampa, 3 kill tanks, a kill rig, with dudes in it, and then I have Mega Knobs saturated in like 3-man units throughout all those units for well 3x3 because I can't have more than that. But pretty much I'm gonna put like 3 in the Gork and a Mork and maybe Stompo or something else. I'll figure it out as I'm there. And I got a big unit of Storm Boys with Zag Struck.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to be able to either ingress them in and bother someone. Most likely that's what I'm trying to do, and then I can choose to do Here We Go, and then they can advance and charge all game. So I can advance and charge. Here We Go with the Storm Boys moving. It's just obnoxious, kind of like manipulating of the table. And I'm assuming there'd be a lot of stuff I could just touch with them, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, let's look at the chats now. Let's see what you kids got to say. Sorry, when I got lost some of them. So we were seeing the Brandon. Oh, I see. Can't wait to try 20 boys with the wall banner in the. Okay, yeah, you've been trying everything, so I'm not surprised you're gonna try it. Oh, follow me, 100%. Follow me, lads. Okay, so we were talking about that. Do we need follow me, lads, on the Not with wall banner though? I think if you're paying for the wagon, no, because at that point you've already made up those 2 engines from disembarking from the transport usually. That they give you from moving. You do get to move twice, but really when you get that double advance and charge and in a pinch you could use a strat, it's like you don't need to pay for that with a knob with wall banner. But I do like follow me, lads. Don't worry. I'm just saying I was thinking about that with the knob with wall banner when we were talking, and I never got back around to it. Zoomy mans. Let's see, what is this? He goes, combustion engines used to drive. Oh, there you go. Sorry, I'm doing that one.
Well, combustion engines is used to drive fast. Combustion is explosive. Explosive is yellow. So yellow goes faster.
Explosives is yellow. Okay, that's some kind of orc logic there, dude. Yeah, I love that. Oh yeah, David. Yeah, there we go. David's getting his love for the what the heck? Who's this guy?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Who is this kid? I think he meant for the emperor, but that's a good
For the empire.
For the empire. Who's the empire though?
Who's the empire?
He meant the emperor, probably autocorrect.
Maybe, yeah.
Found
available the Grot tanks the other day at last. Immediately ordered 1 unit. Curious to see how it'll perform.
Well, that does come to you understanding that they are a very fast, relatively for Orks, fast shooting platform that has reactive movement but doesn't have fighting combat potential. They're durable, but to only certain profiles. The ablative wounds, like the separation of wounds between the whole unit, is nice. Always give them cover because they do have a 3-up armor save. The one thing I miss on them is that they don't have twin linked. I think if they had twin linked, they'd be freaking sick. But the fact that they're just like sitting at that strength that you're like, overall, I like them. I think they have 2 OC too, each one. So yeah, so they have good OC. Honestly, they seem to do great in the meta. I just got my 4 printed because I got them printed. And I'm gonna try them out sometime soon. David.
All right, Mr. 2, the thing you got to remember about the red ones going faster. We know the red ones goes faster because the boys say the red ones go faster. And remember from earlier in this sentence, the red ones go faster.
Why are we like this? Why are we like this?
That's how you argue.
Yeah, that was just, they argue, right? They argue. They were out of stock forever in the USA. Yeah, they do. They're super hard to get that kind of stuff, like Forge World stuff. You guys keep arguing, dude. I'm gonna let you guys keep. Let you guys keep doing it. That's funny. It's like thing you blow up just moves faster. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. For the game tomorrow, wow. That's dude. He did a good job. Shout out to Jeff, Heretic Jeff. He's in our Discord too, and I actually met him in person at the GT I went to, and we played each other. Had a fun game. He had bad dice rolls, but it was a fun game. And it was like he was like, I play Orks, bro. I'm just here having fun. I'm like, because he had a really nice display army. He's like, I'm gonna invite you to this event. I was like, all right, we'll see what's up. And then he ended up being a really nice event he's setting up. And I'm like, yeah, I definitely have to show, because it was either go to this event that I'm going to tomorrow or go to an RTT, right? For the night for the Christmas event. So yeah. Uploading things. Yeah, the red Korean. Oh, what was this? What Voltan Orks? What
is this?
What is? I'm confused. Oh, I get it. Hold on. You're a short dwarf. Is that what you mean? A short orc. Is that what you mean? No?
Orc got his legs chopped off?
Yeah. What are you saying here? I'm confused. No, just kidding. What is he? We're messing with you. What does he say? My
2K list will be ready when we open presents on Christmas.
Okay, so you got probably the Christmas box set, and I'll put you over that. That's pretty dope. Mm-hmm. Do we have any? Hold on before. All right, guys. Let me ask me questions though and stuff in chat. That way we can keep it going. I'm gonna go through some of these pictures real quick, and then we'll go back to another list. All right, so a couple Miles Rogs here because the person sent me their pictures kind of like in small form. I couldn't get them their own slides clearly, so I put them both on the same one. They are two different people that painted these. This Maz on the left, I really like because he has a gray skinned Maz though, which I thought was sick because I really like when Orks pull that off on the gray kind of look and such. Like I have old reference to old stream, the pale orc. You know what I'm saying? The pale orc, we all know that guy. And I painted one up kind of like that. And I was like, that's too many layers. That shit's hard. Because you're kind of using white and then like a gray, and you're, at least for me when I was worse at painting. And then the one on the right.
This one's crazy. Thinking outside of the box here.
Can you imagine how much like time and like meticulous work? Like, you don't make that face, but I make that face, okay? You know, like so
you don't make those noises either.
I do make those noises though. So just seeing that was that was me doing me. I wasn't making fun of you. All right, so yeah, that's awesome. Let's see.
Yeah, like how you even painted the nose black.
I didn't even notice that. They did paint the nose black, dude. Should run up and thump it.
It even looks wet too.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Looks wet.
Because I assume cat noses are also wet, like dogs, or no?
Kind of, but not as much. Athena,
Moist?
come here. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna grab my cat.
Test this out right now.
Yeah, because I'm gonna grab my little Jaguar. Yeah, so we have. It's not auto deadly demise at this event. It's on a 4+. But how ridiculous is that? Because we're gonna have so many Titanic and big models on the table. It's fine, but that's why I'm gonna put stuff in reserve, and that's why I have Zag's truck, right? And that's why stuff's in transport, because everybody can get blown up and then they all disembark and then we walk forward.
We smart gets here.
Smart gets here. All right. So, and I think, do you have def copies on your list? I thought
I do have a 3-man def.
Exactly. Because we're like, we got to keep stuff off the table because we know so everybody's gonna blow up. All right.
Yeah, I could lose multiple buggies.
Yeah. You could definitely lose half the buggies just blowing up. We should reserve one of the units. 100% will add orc looking DDs to Dexter's laboratory. That's hilarious. Here is a awesome looking Snick Rod, in my opinion.
It's a very vibrant green.
I like when Snick Rod's dirty too, because I think that's thematic. He's purple, first of all. So obviously I'm biased. But me personally, I love green orcs because when you put them on the table, the vibrant green is what you actually see from the tabletop distance. Yeah. So like when it comes to my own, when it comes to matching theme or box art or lore and they're dark, I'm like, that's awesome dark. But when it comes to actually how they look on the tabletop, I favor green. If that's a proper explanation of that, right?
Yeah, he did a good job of using more vibrant colors where you want your eyes to focus on.
Yeah.
Like at the, what is it? Is it the helm? The helm of the sword? Or no? What's that properly called? The hilt of the sword?
Yeah.
Or the blade?
Yeah, and then he also, like, his shoulders are very bright. The purple isn't too purpley, so he doesn't look like a Joker.
Right.
Because that's what I was going to say is I didn't even notice the purple at first. Oh, hold on. Before I was going to pull up the list. Let me pull up another list here, guys. Because it's time for the list, Sharon.
Link to edition. He's in the chat.
Linked to edition is here in the chat. Let's go. And then also we have, hold on. Oop. Sorry, you get. Is this a whoa gifted membership?
Let's go.
Let's go. Claim them wall tags. This membership you get. We get a lot of badges. Let me get some War Boss badges in the chat while you guys are here. Anyways, for those who have it already, if you look at your little emojis when you become a member, you get custom badges, a bunch of different variety of custom badges, and you can put like, what do we have now unlocked? Because depending on how many members, we have Grots, Squigs, Boys, Wild Boys, Storm Boys, Death Dread.
Yeah, we got Knobs.
So let me get some
Mega Knobs, War Boss.
So let me get some Knobs and War Bosses in chat for this gifted membership. Whoa! Thank you, Wicked Joe. Let's go. So there's a lot of new guys here in chat. I think the live stream got to like 30 gets at one point. So these should disappear quite quickly. You know what I mean?
And make sure you take them too.
Put the badges, spam the badges real quick. I like that because that makes us happy. All right. So let's look at this list and then we'll keep going. So no, sorry, I'll make sure I don't lose my place in chat, and then we can go over this list real quick. Okay, this is where we were in chat. All right, and then as for the list, it's your boy Linked. All right,
Linked to edition.
All right.
He's running a Big Mech and Mega Armor, Def Killer War Trike, a Mech, Maz, a knob on Smash the Squig with Head Wappa's Kill Chopper,
Whoppers get chopper.
and a Paintballs.
Paintballs.
Then we got 1 unit of 10 Beast Snagger
Okay.
boys. What's up?
Well, I was in it right here, right? I wanted to talk about this. I need to. I don't know if I need to try this or what's going on. I understand the idea. I'm not slow here, but just 10 and then a pain boss. People have been using this and actually having success with
Just
this
10?
with just 10. Just 10. It must be the compounding effect of a 5-up on a 5-up, right? Because the 5-up invul and the 5-up field note pain. So this must be about timing when you place this unit out to contest an objective. Because without the invuln, this unit still gets just wrecked, right? But it seems like when you put this guy and on that unit, it must have just enough punchy, just enough staying around to contest an objective you're not trying to retain the whole time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or just be like
that one turn.
Just be like an odd kind of skirmish because it's 165. What are you fighting for 165? You get the snap, you get the pain boss's fighting capability. He gets to bring dudes back. So I've seen it and it's been used successfully. I'm just a little interested. That's why I'm happy I got my Christmas box set. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, I was gonna just go on that point. A 5-up is very annoying.
Yeah.
And I know that personally from running the Adeptus Mechanicus Priest.
Okay.
But they were only T3. And usually how you get around that is with volume. But like you said, if you're placing these guys in the right spot for 165 points, there isn't anything that's gonna put enough volume into this unit.
They're not gonna.
You'd have to give more into it.
You're right. Yeah, for 165, you're not gonna volume this unit out successfully on the wall. I'm gonna say on the wall. If you don't, some units might not. And if it is a unit that can, it's probably valuable. And then you try to trade out with it. In some kind of way, you could bait or just hold the objective anyways if you survive, and you can art his nails. So someone's going into you and they're like, "Oh man, I really want to kill this. I'm gonna throw some trash at you. I'm gonna wound you on 5. It's fine." You're like, "Artist nails are winning on 6s, 5 into 5s. Oops, you failed. I killed you." Very cool. I not that I forget on this, but this is something I haven't added to my list, and I should, especially post data slate. Don't be surprised if I creep up into this too. But I'm acknowledging this is actually a good combo. Start thinking about it. Then you can continue. Sorry about that.
And then 1 unit of 10 boys. And we got 2 trucks.
So just boys and then the Beast Snagger boys.
A battle wagon.
Ooh, wagon. Ooh, sorry to get excited. You see I started to zoom everywhere? It makes sense.
What's going on in this battle wagon? Unit of Burner boys, 10.
Okay. Copter.
Death Copters, Gretchen, 1 5-man Mega Knob with Power Claws. Oh, a Rucker Truck Squig Buggy.
Let's go.
Oh. And then a Storm Boy unit and a Warbiker unit. And a Squig Hog Boy brick.
2 Storm. Okay, it's 2 Warbikers units. Okay, I'm digging this list, dude. I really am. The Rucker Truck Squig Buggies, a nice little different kind of tech flex. They have decent OC also. I think it's slept on for buggies. They're cheap enough usually. This one's a little more expensive, but let's say you have to run up and take an objective from a transport, you can with something like a buggy. And this buggy drops mortal wound potential like a 6-inch aura once per game and a 4-up.
Oh, okay.
So when you do decide to go contest, you could hypothetically mess people up too. But yeah, and then he has a good amount of scoring units here. 2 Warbiker units plus a Storm Boy and a Death Copter unit, right? Not necessarily enough points to give up Bring It Down, but he's not enough points to give up Bring It Down either. So he's riding that line. Maybe I could get a Bring It Down away or anything, but and he put notes. Sorry.
Notes, yeah.
So he's taking this to a tournament in the morning, willing to swap almost anything. I own a Boom, Wise Boom Blaster Jet, all of the buggies, and multiple of each. I own most of the rest of the index, not a lot of duplicates. It'll be GW terrain. I think the character's self-explanatory. Yep. But for units, see, this is why I asked for context, guys. You know how you watch a lot of these people go over lists? I was like, I need context because I could tell you, like, maybe he get poison there or whatever. He's telling us I'm putting Mega Knobs and Burner Boys in the battle wagon. That's why I like to hear that, right? And then the trucks have battle line. So that's cool. Gives us some context on how he's playing and terrain he's using. I generally send the battle wagon in the middle for its context, take and hold the objectives. Yeah, and that's what we were talking about with the Beast Snagger boys. I'll generally send out the Beast Snagger joys on one of the objectives. And so, yeah, the Beast Snagger boys are intended to, we have enough OC and 5-on-5 their ability to hold it. Gratz, Mac, Rugged Truck, sit back, hold home objectives, Storm Boys in reserve. Yeah. And that's, you are at this weird place that it's almost like, do you really want the individual Rugged Truck Squig Buggy? But there are those matchups where you'll just kill just enough Space Marines or 4 2 wound bodies, that it'll be worth it. So I would say just leave it. The interesting about this is you do have enough. The burner boys are good for chaff. They low key bring AP. I think people forget about that. They have -2 AP in combat innately. So this is a sleeper kind of list. I'll say the one thing I'll say, the mech.
So that would be in the back with the rocket truck buggy.
Yeah. So he's trying to ignore, but then that
he wants
becomes
to be able to shoot at anything that's not just infantry. Because the squid gives you +1 to hit if you're targeting infantry with the indirect.
Yeah, but he's trying to get into hitting on 4s probably, right? Because you're negating the -1 and then getting yourselves +1 again from the big.
Can you?
No, he's trying to negate. I'm saying if you could see it, then you can negate them.
If you see, yeah.
If you could see them, so he could shoot into anything.
I guess it'd be dependent on his meta. Is he seeing a lot of these scout units, or even what are the warp spiders toughness?
Warp spiders are also 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
I was gonna say, yeah. So you know what? Just because they mentioned that, yeah, leave that, because that's the thing about the warp spiders is they might end up like boom, boom, and just indirecting them. One only gets rid of the fact that they can fucking move, right? That's a good point. Gets rid of the fact that they can move and such. They do have good armor saves. They have a 3-up base armor save, so you do want to ignore cover. You do want a little bit of AP into them. And chipping them down makes it so they can't move block you as easily. And then each one you're killing for their flamers actually does matter. So you know what? I was gonna drag you down for that buggy, but David just argued it back into the equation. So I actually agree with that. And then so yeah, other than that, because I'll say the boys, right? And I'm still not sure about the mech, right? What would I get it what he's trying to do, but do you really want to? Right? Do you really want to keep the mech? I'm gonna have to say
it's gonna be hard to keep up.
Objectively speaking, I don't think I want the mech. I don't think I need the points need that for the mech, right?
So it'd free up exactly 45.
But then what are you gonna do for 45? Not really much anymore. Because enhancements, he already has 2 enhancements that are good. Yeah, Gretchen would be good. I think Gretchen would be better. How many Gretchen do you have? 2 already or 1? Oh yeah, I think a Gretchen unit would be better. I think a Gretchen unit better, and I give you a couple reasons why. And I think David was right. Is there anything else we want to get rid of here though, or no? No, right, to make more points. Because I was gonna say, the meta. I'm gonna say the meta goes weird back and forth. I don't know your exact meta exactly, but a 10-man unit of boys in a truck isn't. I'm gonna say leave it, because when it comes to inceptors and stuff, I actually kind of like that, because then you can be like, oh yeah, I have this truck here. You can't pop the truck and the boys get out. You can't kill them. The boys can run up and actually low key kill inceptors, especially if you're willing to throw like a grenade or use a tank to charge in and do battle tank shock into them too. The boys with all that on the wall can put enough volume to sometimes kill enough inceptors too, or just skirmish. So no, I think leave the boys too. So it was like a conversation with myself. So yeah, I'd say the one and only minor change would be the mech. I think drop the mech, and it'll actually help you in not only screening, not only possibly gaining more CP, which you would definitely need as an orc player, in my opinion, but when we're talking about, and I think this is something that's going to be important for orcs to kind of learn and get into and used to, is when we're going into other elite armies or combat armies, we want to use stuff like Grots or Storm Boys to tag these elite kind of fighting units and force them to pile into our trash. And that's something that your Grots will do. So even with that 2nd-man unit of Grots, you don't have to leave it in the backfield if you feel like you have enough screening. March that Grot unit up the field or put it in reserves. So you might be thinking like, I got enough stuff in my backfield because I have the Grots in the Rucker truck. I get it. But more Grots going up the board for more OC, right? When we played, right, and you had your awesome list, the Grots became an issue because, one, David didn't really want to shoot at them with anything or in range with those guns. But then when the Grots did get up to table, they can move block. They have enough OT to hold objectives. You're like, they want to get in the way and charge that. And then in other matchups, let's say against World Eaters or something, you can charge in, make the Master of Executions fight the Grots. You know what I'm saying? So the 2nd unit of Grots objectively better than the mech.
Right. Especially going into the elite armies like you mentioned.
Yeah, because
I don't want to be spending 200 plus points dealing with some Grots.
Yeah, and I don't want to invest that much stuff in my backlines value wise. So that's it. I think that's
a good change.
I think that's a simple change that won't throw your list off and your strategy off too much. You seem to know what you're trying to do here. It's good. I would say that's the one change. Drop the mech. Other than that, it's a great rendition of your list, and I appreciate the Big Mech and Mega Armor for its durability. So, whoa,
wagon and the party patrol.
Yeah, the party, but that was a good one. That was a good list. I appreciate that. Hopefully, we made some sense there.
Some chats.
So let's see some chats here. So we have. What is this? A Paco.
Oh,
David.
for the revolution.
Well, that's what we decided we're gonna do. If anybody ever does a revolution, I'm gonna end up doing some my Grot Makari type of wah instead. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so funny. Thank you, dude. That's awesome. I super greatly appreciate it. You know, great love. That means a lot. Channel is new, and whenever we get that and stuff, it's about the fact that we're doing something right. If you feel like you want to do that and supportive, and we're providing something for you that's worth it, and we love that, and we appreciate it. You know, the jest. Oh, and he's a member. Whoa, let's go. Okay. I got lost in that. All right, let's look at some pictures real quick and keep going with that. And then I'm gonna look at the chats in a second while you guys take a look at Dagger's sick looking creepy war boss. Get him.
This is sick.
Yeah, that looks like I think because that's a shooter.
Put a lot of extra personality into this.
Yeah, this has to be like a creepy war boss in Mega Armor or something, or sneaky get because he has a gun on his shoulder. I'm a little confused.
Did you give that skull a scope?
You know, I think it's a skull and scope. He might have, dude. That's creepy, dude. That's awesome,
dude. This looks like a real Orc character that came out of a book. Like that's how detailed this is.
And that's green stuff, you guys. Just so you know, if you want to know how he did that, that's green stuff. Yeah. That's the one thing about daggers. There's a lot of stuff that I notice he does them from with the green
like
stuff.
What he did to the blade too.
Yeah, that beautiful. Let me look at the chat real quick. We'll leave that up so you guys can stare at it. You can read it.
All right, the Grot tanks are such cool models. They could be useless on the tabletop, but they're so funny it doesn't matter.
Luckily, they're not.
Yeah, they're useless.
Pretty good. That's the bad moons. Okay. Yeah, we looted them. He looted them crates. Okay, yeah. David wants you to mess those crates up essentially.
Yeah, a little. Make it more messy, please.
Yeah. Looted. Whoa. Ronan put his name now. Ronan always likes to see you. Yeah, bad moons. Orc believe yellow is the most expensive color, and that's why they have the best DACA. Give bad moons better explosions as well as sustained hits on shooting. Ooh, we had that in 8th edition, my boy. You playing with fire right there with us. Sustained sixes, boy. You know what happened back then. So I think they do need something that portrays their shooting potential for sure. Whatever it is. I kind of want to say volume. Making them have more volume, so sustain does matter. If it's just for them, you just need to then worry about certain units because you see already with flash kits, right? So then I always worry about this because then that data sheet becomes I can only play this data sheet and this enhancement because GW will be scared to make that data sheet overpowered. So when you ask for these rules, just know that's possibly why loot is hit on 6s. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be the rule that's coming. And that's probably why GW made them hit on 6s. Just so you guys know, that might be, let's put it together.
That's true.
So he said, you read it.
Yo, can you talk about the ways that you can use those 20 boys to occupy space, to deny movement, or rep vehicles? I am G-Vento.
Okay, can you talk about ways to use those boys to occupy space? Yeah. One, when you do end up, okay, because we'll say that, let's get the context because we've been talking about the battle wagon. When you do disembark them from the battle wagon, you get the 3, and you're going to have that little kind of horseshoe shape now that you disembarked. You can pre-measure, I'm going to move 6, and then you'll know from there what you can tag and charge. The idea is, 1, this is easier to show, but I'm going to try to explain. The new rules in 40K compared to if you played the fight phase prior editions is when I roll my dice roll, I have to move that unit. I have to base that unit as much as possible, maximizing my movement as much as possible, right? Now, for orcs, sometimes that can be a detriment for us because we're flying too forward and we're surrounding a unit so more units can't get in and fight them. Or we roll too high on the charge, stuff like that. The thing that you want to do with that, and the 20 boys can kind of help mitigate, is you start, when you roll that charge, let's say you did roll a fat, heavy charge, take the furthest back boy and have him start your movement with him. Most people, especially if you're new to 40K, will look at the front, you'll roll your, let's say I rolled it 7/8" charge. You'll go, I rolled my 8" charge. So I'm going to take my very front boy and move him 8 inches. Well, you forced yourself now the furthest moving potential. What you could do is take the furthest guy, move him to his furthest potential, kind of set him up in a way that he's taking up a gap. Then you can take another guy. It ends up being a puzzle piece, right? So this is easier to show than say. you take another guy somewhere in that block and you move him, and you leave a space there that's not big enough for a 32-inch base to fit, right? That means you cannot, objectively speaking, base that model any further. And you do that in a way that you can fill up the gap enough that you are not forced to base this model anymore. Then that means with the rest of your movement, the models that have not used that charge movement, they now get to freely move towards the model where you need them to go. That way, now you can start leaving tails. You can start blocking other unit, the objective itself, right? You still want to put more models so you can base to base with those models and fight. But the idea is that's how you stop yourself from just having to look stupid and surround the thing fully. You leave gaps, but the gaps are not big enough for you to base, if that makes sense. And then for wrapping units, just, make a good charge and use the same movement, the same idea, really.
And then just to emphasize on the rule that you're talking about, if your model can base, it has to base.
Mm-hmm.
So by you measuring back to the furthest model that can base, you're going to get the maximum movement freely for everything in front of it, as long as you're blocking off those front units from also being able to base. Then you can freely move.
Yeah, I would say when Sean Nathan played on Tactical Turtis's video, he didn't explain it obviously what he was doing, but you can kind of see it if you watch him. Tactical Turtis's Everwinter live stream, the second game. If you go there, tell him I said hi. When he uses the knobs in the wall banner, you guys, you see that he uses exactly what I'm saying. He's pulling from the back, and then he's looking. If you notice, he's looking, and then he's picking guys up and moving them strategically, compared to how maybe a casual or me sometimes when I used to play, when I started, would just be like, all right, I got my movement, and just move everything forward, right? He was strategically placing them. So that's how you would do that. It's hard to explain. Hopefully we did a good job, but that's what it is. These concepts that I've been hearing about. Okay, hopefully we helped a little bit, and if not, go check out Tactical Turtis and that little thing, and he's awesome. I keep my clans on the separated shelves due to infighting. Gork versus Mork ideology, exactly. Some are cunning or brutal, some are brutal but cunning. I let them fight, because it makes them bigger. Love this Orkimedes level of debate. That's awesome. I'm gonna leave this up because that's so funny. So these pictures right here that I switched to, that was Heinrich. We actually just covered his list. These are his models, and he told me he's 14 or 15, and he's painting them as well. So that's really actually pretty awesome. Yeah. A great job by that. I'm gonna use a couple more. I'm gonna follow a couple more chats, so I'm not too far behind, and then we're gonna cover another list real quick. That's me on the right. I think that's your face with the sash. Good job. You're a member, so I'll show it. There you go. You're a dork. Hit that like you get. I appreciate it. If they won't, got an RTT tomorrow running to Stompa Ludas, 20 blob with the war boss, and then I with wall banner. Whoa! I threw that wall in there because it deserved it. That's sick. I will say you are gonna feel the fact that everything is in the Stompa, right? Because it's we'll just round up and say 1,200 points.
Yeah.
And you're my hero for that. I appreciate it. That's awesome. You'll definitely own the middle of the board, and hopefully you just don't see Eldar and stuff. Right, David, you read.
All right. Red worst color because luck and explosive blue and yellow gives best color green. So red goes last place.
Here we are, Orkimedes, dude. Dude,
our members, logic there, dude.
Our members here. What's up with the Death Cop does not heavily deadly demise?
Would you want that?
Yeah, I don't think I would want that. You want that because you're an orc, yes. So objectively, logically speaking, no. And the idea was Death Copters were they're like a stupid, goofy mix of a biker and a vehicle. I'd really like if they were mounted, to be honest. It would help us with our secondaries giving away points. They changed the keyword. Sure, we can't battle shock, tank shock. I don't care for 6 points. I'd rather not give up bringing down points. My opponent yesterday kept calling the pink Maz Pinky in the brain. That's
a good one.
Can I get a whoa? Let's go. All you got to do is just ask. Shucks. All right. Dagger's left out because he can't get a membership for some reason. Putting frogs in the chat again. All you guys put the Gits and the Mega Knobs. I see you. Aaron, Mr. 2, Pyro Bubbles. Pyro Bubbles. I haven't seen you in a minute. Voltan Orks with the run. Whoa! I think you guys just became members? That must have been from the thing. Heck yeah! I didn't see a notification. Maybe I'll see in a little bit, but that's pretty sick. How do you gift memberships? Oh, I think you just click the present. You did. Yeah. I think you click the membership thing again, but then instead of doing a super chat, you can gift memberships.
Yeah, it's an option.
Yeah. So yeah, that's always a good thing too. I mean, I think everybody appreciates that as a whole. So yeah,
spread that.
and I still appreciate your
wall
super
energy.
chat in general though. So yeah,
Thank you.
and you also, how could I overlook that the paintball also heals mouse, right? So I do wonder, is it more likely that they go to different places on the board? But no, I guess not, because one of the games at the last RCT I went to, I did put Maz and a unit of Beast Boys. So that is, I'm gonna try. I feel like I'm gonna try this now, dude. You guys getting me worked up here, dude. I'm about to try this. There's a button, yeah, next to your chat. What is this?
People don't want to shoot the paintball unit because it's not a threat. It becomes a threat later when both teams lost their good units.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a good point to pull up. I mean, that's how I would see that rolling is when it comes to then skirmishing at that point, and you have weight of dice. The pain boss himself is fighting, bringing another boy back. If you get lucky, you get 3 because it's D3.
Right.
Yeah, and then if you heal Maz once, that could just ruin the game for people. Like it could just be over, right? So I feel like I'm gonna try this, dude. I feel like I'm gonna try this too.
I gotta say, I would probably choose Painboy with 10 boys instead myself for the infantry D6 mortal chance, and it's still a 5-up, 5-up, 5-up in WAAAGH, but I guess it's preference.
It's a preference. It's definitely a preference. I will say though that I'm not on board with the syringe. Because you're talking about the syringe when you
it's only one attack too.
It's one attack and it's 4 into 4s. Because you're hitting on 4s with it, it's one attack and it's 4s. Is it a preference thing? Yes. Because if you get it off, are you the best? Yes. Are you the best now? Yes, you are. I'm just saying, I think the pain boss for that is sick, and I think he still also has anti-vehicle, anti-monster.
The pain boss?
Yeah, and he has like a he might, and I'm gonna have to check it again. Check for me real quick. Make sure I'm not saying lies on here, and then people crump me and while I'm sleeping. I have one squig buggy because the mech can buff. Oh yeah, I understand that. I was just saying.
Pain boss?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does have it. Yeah, pain boss has anti-vehicle. Yeah, we understand that you have one buggy because the mech can shoot it, and then yeah, he said hitting on 4s in indirect versus infantry using a mech. Yeah, we understand that. I still think for the reasons I gave, and this might be, you might have sent this before I responded, but I still think the Gretchen is a little better to have the second unit of Gretchen than the mech. But if you're really set on doing it and shooting because you've done it and you want to do it, then do it. I always have to give some kind of point of view, right? And some thought. So a Gretchen team and Squig Buggy to hold home field aren't terrible. Yeah, they're not, because the Squig Buggy can survive a bit more shooting if it gets shot at from like an Inceptor unit, I guess. But
I also feel like indirect in the game now is more just for chipping units. If you're really relying on it to do damage and clear a whole unit, then you're probably putting too much effort into it, and you're going to put yourself out of position.
Unless you have Shamil Tarm.
Yeah, unless
that's
that's the exception to the rule.
There's always an exception in 40K, you know. Whoa! There's another tourney in January. I have a box of grots. I could build up and then swap. Up to you. But that was my one advice. Like I said, we have to say something, right? And otherwise, why would you send a list, right? If I just said, good job, that looks nice, it's stupid. Whoa! So I just wanted to say something. You don't have to agree with me, and if you don't want to, it's cool. I won't be offended. Bubbles, I see you out there, Pyro. That's a funny ass name, Pyro Bubbles. That'd be horrific. That'd be horrific, dude. If they were just on fire bubbles and you're like, no, and then they hit David, and I'm like, hot bitch, the little splash hits me.
That'd be horrendous.
Oh, he said that he had a servitor skull. That's what that was on his
I got you. Okay, so it does have a little eyeglass.
He's a beast boss. Gave him the skull instead of a targeting squig. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, that's what I thought. Sorry, dude. A little slow, dude. And like I got offended. No, I'm kidding. The paint on the blade is hot. Okay. Yeah, it is hot. Actually, I think we have one of your lists, Swade, too. You just reminded me to check the list. Now we're going to go back into lists again. Oh, hold on. Before we do that, is this a member right here?
Oh, Schmuckalo.
Whoa! You've been around for a while, too, so I appreciate you coming in and being a part of the wall now. Welcome to the rise of the great war in the green tide. All right. And yeah, Daggers is a green stuff wizard. He definitely is. And then that being said, let me go back to the list and look at by the way, I didn't want to just glaze over this. This is a crazy looking battle wagon. Yes, it's a battle wagon conversion. I think this is exactly how you want your battle wagon to look if you're running like a speed walk, because it has that look that is trying to go faster with like the jet engines in the back, right? So I think that's pretty sick. Let me look at just share the next list. Ooh, I'm gonna take a shot in the dark here. Let's see who's getting picked. Because the thing is, guys, why it's a shot in the dark is I don't see the names. It just says unnamed Oh, I picked Wild Day. That sounds like I'm
Is
lying
it-
now.
is it really?
It really is Wild Days.
Oh.
I was gonna say, dude, I swear, if you guys look right there at the top of it, it says untitled. So really, I don't see any of the names. I
Right.
just picked them
That's
and
perfect.
just picked the dude. Gorgon Morg just rising.
We gotta make Gaz great again.
make Gaz great. He's already great, but I get what you. I like the name regardless. It's a great name. All right, David.
All right, of course, Gazgul Thraka. We got Captain Badrock, Maz, Nob on Smash a Squig with Head Wappa's Kill Chopper, a War Boss with Cunning but Brutal,
Cut him a brutal.
2 trucks, the 10-man flash kits, 2 units of Gretchen, 3 Mega Knobs, 1 10-man Knob unit, and 1 break of Squig Hog Boys, and 2 Min, then 2 Stormboy units, and 1 Warbiker unit.
Okay, I'm down with this list. The one thing I'll say, remember how earlier I told you guys 2-man units and Mega Knobs are fine. You don't need to go for 3. I was speaking when they're just alone. And with Gaz, you'd really just need 2. I think if you do have the points for the 3rd Mega Knob, just for Gaz specifically, not if you're running solo ones, you don't have to go to 3. If you do have 30 points, you do kind of want the 3rd one, because that's just more wounds, ablative wounds they have to chew through if they're trying to get rid of Makari or Gaz. Because 1 lucky grenade could take out too many Mega Knobs and some small arms fire, but 3 of them, they're definitely not getting through that with just nonsense. And 3 Mega Knobs is quite durable, just like from just incoming punches and stuff too. So I like 3 if you have the points for it, which he did. So he didn't go too crazy with only 2 trucks, even though he's heavy. Then I'll look at all this skirmish, like small units just taking all over the table with odd durability.
A lot of speed.
I like 2 Stormboys. I like 2 Stormboys because 1, I'll stage 1 so that they can run up to the middle of the table if they have to sometimes, or if they have to, if it's a melee matchup, sometimes I'll set them on the table so they can start getting ready to start tagging other melee units that I'm going to, let's say, World Eaters. For the most part, I'll do that. And then I'll put 1 in reserves for the secondary. Some matchups I put both if they're too elite. Like so, 1 more biker is great. I think people forget that 3, just a simple 3-man unit of Squig Hog Boys is just all around just an 8, like an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 rating. As for like a unit per point.
Right.
What else for that point class is dislodging it, is contesting an objective with it, is getting that volume of attacks on it. Enemies just don't know how to allocate resources to a 3-man unit. The one issue you run into is once one of those guys is down, there's a chance that they don't really do anything anymore because you do hit on 4s with the mounts, right? But 3-man units are totally good. He's sticking to the big scalpel Mega Knob unit, which I like to see. That's a meta and a matchup dependent thing, I think, too. Some people though argue for the more activations. Really, that's what they're looking for. I get more. I get to go tag more small units. That's totally good too. I personally, because I don't want to see like a fat unit of Terminators try to bully me, or just even like a 5-man unit Terminator bully me. I'll throw these 10-man and Mega Knob and my knobs into a 5-man unit of Terminators, knowing I'm going to pick up the whole unit.
What do you think about the Cunning but Brutal?
Cunning but Brutal. That actually works because then when you are running this fat unit, there is a chance. A lot like when we played, or I played with Christian or at the RT. There's been many games. Let's say out of 3 games that the Mega Knobs, after they make their charge, if it's into something that stays alive or a couple people, there's just the War Boss and a Knob alive for 2 knobs. You enjoy Cunning but Brutal greatly from that. I've also enjoyed, just not running anything on it or running Super Cyborg Body on him, because then certain armies won't take him out. But that's very, very unlikely. So overall, how do I feel about this list? Very much into the meta of how you want to run Gaz, in my opinion, if you're not running infantry bricks with him. You got the 3rd Mega Knob in there to take more of the damage since he's kind of walking up the field, right? You got to get him a little more durable on his own. You got Maz as the secondary, kind of, I'm here to be a thick. The Squig Hog brick, here to get thick, and then War Boss. So it's not even too saturated with characters. It's thick amount of points in characters, but it's not too many per character.
It brings all the essential characters.
It brings the essential characters, the essential, like the shooting from the flash kits for their overwatch, the knobs for their AP, the Squig Hog Boys for their volume, the small unit Squig Hog Boys for their skirmishing, and then enough scoring units all over the table. So he's been having actually good success with this. And this is another great iteration of, and very similar to actually what I've been running with my gas list with my, except for I take, instead of the small squigs, I think more beast. I bring Beast Boss on foot and a truck, because I have to directly punch out more armor in my meta. So I'm very much into this list. Look very almost like my list. So I'm gonna give it a solid 8, 9 out of 10, depending on your meta, of course. Like I said, my personal only thing, depending on you too, you might see this. I bring a Beast Boss. I find points for that, and then I use that because I have to kill certain thickness, and I've always found it to be worth it. Always. He's always kind of like, do I want to bring the beast boss? And then when I do, I'm like, that's why I bring him. You know. And then we got a Stomper. Whoa! Always got to give the Stomper some love. All right, let me look at your. Let me look at some of these chats real quick, you guys. Well, you appreciate that. How are you guys doing with TTS? Can't wait for some visual tactics too. You do it so well. That comes up to me. So I need to get medic into it. I'm actually, you see Roman around in the chat here. Ronan is gonna help me out with it getting started too, because he's been doing it for a while. So yeah, I'm just gotta take the time to learn it. And then as to how I can project it into this, I'm not sure, but probably screenshots and cool stuff like that, right?
Right, and we're working on getting a second monitor too to help with that.
And we got it. Y'all like Lewis? Do I like them? As an orc, I like them because I like DACA. Their data sheet, no. Can I find a way to use them? Yes. Put them on terrain that we get plunging fire. Place them. Don't worry about you getting shot. Just place them so they can actually see an objective while you're gaining plunging fire, because then you can actually gain a benefit from their rerolls and actually enjoy them. And then Overwatch with them might become interesting sometimes. -2 AP makes a huge difference. -1 AP, I'm not doing it, right? But you could make a tiny argument if you got, for some reason, 50 points left over, or you really wanted to bring some DACA, you're playing a different size point game. As long as you're going to get plunging fire, and as long as you can see another objective, which if you're playing on GW terrain, you should be able to. Ludas are fine, just for having fun, you know. Yeah, and they need a buff, right? Yeah. But you know, people have fun. 15 Ludas, 5 burner boys in my battle wagon, even if it sucks. That's what I'm talking about. See, whoa, and then you put the mech in there, right, to enjoy yourself. Let's see what he said. Thanks for the insight on my list. Y'all are great. Also, whoa, yeah, you were in here, so yeah, I'm glad you took it, you know, and do whatever you do. I'm sure you'll do great. Wall day.
Oh, that knobs list wasted Trajan and the crew with Makari lethals.
Oh my goodness, dude. Let's go. That's what I like to hear too. And that's why, dude, yeah, they hate that, especially custodes, because normally they're like, haha, I get to fight. You know, I'm fighting death, bro. Shut up. Like, all right. Sorry. Even though Trajan doesn't, you know, always formish problems, he can be a problem. Luda's overwatching objective is where is at. Eddie will agree. Nice and cheap too. Yeah, they're nice and cheap. And it's how games you're playing, have fun. Say you're not bringing flash kits because you don't own them. You don't feel like chasing it down. They're probably going to take a data slate nerf. Bring flash kits. Bring 10, 100 flat points. Put them on an objective. Plunging fire.
Bam.
Bam. Fun. I love me a Stomper. I was going to wall you. I almost did. You see David got all worked up. He was like,
I got to get rid.
Yeah. Luda, Spanna. Oh, what? It's a debate. Let's go. You guys could debate with me. That's fine. I'm ready to crump. But I'm going to say rocket. Boom.
Yeah, objective. I love me some rockets.
Love the rockets. Flat 3 damage is where it's at. It goes. So many things don't want to see you put flat 3 damage into them, right? And then also the Mega Blast D6 damage is freaking annoying to me. But also you're going to kill yourself, possibly. Just why kill yourself? You can just kill someone else.
I also think it's a win if someone spends an activation on dealing with the Ludas with rockets.
Yeah, because they don't. Only the Spanner gets it, but yeah, he's just saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just meant the unit with that.
Yes.
Like it's a win
for sure. It's a win. The more threatening and annoying you can make it, it's a win if people decide they're gonna kill it. And then he said because he got lethal on it and did unbridled carnage. Yeah, so you got 18 lethal sustained. That's exactly what we're talking about, guys. When we go, you just mix the Makari banner for lethal, unbridled carnage, then it becomes critical 5s, meaning you get lethal sustained 5s. Ouch. So far when I've done it, I've just wrecked so many people with it, dude. Like a war boss and 5 knobs took down a soul grinder, no problem with that.
No, I believe it.
And then like it was great. Whoa, from Canada. Okay, neighbor up north. I see you. Not too far at all.
Rockets.
Rockets. Yeah. Canadian. A Canadian one. What does that sound like? Can we? I don't know. I don't want to be offensive. He just got here and we're just talking smack. Like, hold on. How can I mimic this guy? Whoa! No, okay.
A Canadian wall.
I don't know. I love the Ludas with the shock attack gun. Yeah, because then he gets the benefits from them and he makes them a bit more useful. Let me pull up another list here. Look at this. Another tank.
This thing looks like it went through some carnage.
And Wade, let me know what you think about how we talked about your list. Does it play out and does it, because I ran something very similar. Did you ever have an issue with thickness? You good like that? Small units? How are you feeling about it? Because you're in a chat too, and we just covered your list. So what do you think? Now we got Kaleb. That's the next list. So let's see. Oops. I lost his list. Here it is. Okay.
All right, he's running 0 to Stompa.
So I think last time he spoke to me, he was showing me a Stompa list, or a normal meta list, a meta list, and now he's using a Stompa.
Oh,
So,
okay, all right, awesome.
Okay.
All right, starting with the Death Killer War Trike with Super Cyborg Body, a mech with Follow Me Lads.
Wait, what the hell's happening here?
Yeah,
he's following the Stompa. Okay, keep going.
Maz. That's it for the character. Okay. Then 2 units of 3 Death Copters.
Okay, yeah.
10-man Gretchen. 3.
Okay, I like that.
3 MSU Squighog boys.
Perfect.
The Stompa. And 2 Stormboy units and a Warbiker unit.
Okay. And he put in a little note there.
All right. So he said, here's my idea for the Stompa list to be competitive. Obviously not sure how good we would be into.
We would be LOL.
Oh, we would
but
be.
A man can dream.
But a man can dream. 3-7. Have multiple fast units to cover the board. Score secondaries, screen, Maz and Death Killer to hopefully survive any attention. However, that's what the Stompa swap outs would be Coptas or trucks poised to clog.
However, the Stompa is also for, what do you guys think? Squighog knobs can smash mortals with the Coptas. So the kind of question becomes, would you find the points to put a knob on Smash a Squig?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Would you do? That's kind of, I think, what he's asking too. Would you convert to another big brick of Squigs?
Well, I know you mentioned giving up, bringing down points with just 1 unit of Death Copters. You got 2.
I feel like for this list though,
you keep both.
You just leave it because you're not giving up Assassinate. So you can give up, bring it down if you're not giving up Assassinate. Most Orc lists are kind of giving up Assassinate, so I stick away from that. But this one isn't.
Where do you get the points?
So yeah, so where would you get 65 points? No, 80 points because you want Adwapa's Kill Choppa. I mean, he wants Follow Me Lads on the Stompa. I'm not gonna tell him to get rid of this, but I don't know if it's mandatory because he moves 6, the Stompa moves 10. Oh, I guess he really wants to make up that difference. I mean, you could advance him. Yeah, I guess. All right, we'll just leave it. Whatever.
Stompa's there to crumble.
He's like, I got to get up there, dude. I'm gonna advance it. So where would he find the points for that? It kind of comes down to like, then you have 30 points left over. No, he has 2 Warbiker units. Two. He has 1 Warbiker. It's a value of 2. Okay. I don't think, in my opinion, I've ever seen or heard that it's necessary to bring the max unit of bikers.
Right. He's trying to run it with the Death Killer?
Yeah, because you run with the Death Killer. I think the beauty in the Death Killer plus 3 bikers is 1, it can actually kind of be hidden turn 1 if you have to. Not that you have to all the time. 2, and when you pay for the second unit of bikers, because hypothetically you're paying for the 3 other dudes, you're missing. Let's say you separate this into 2 units, right? 70-70. The other knob you're paying for not only as an additional wound, but as a power claw. So by paying the tax just to add these into 1 unit, you're losing a wound and the knob attacks just on its own.
Right.
So it's like 70 points for literally 3 bikes. So it ends up not being worth it, point for point value wise. And so you could separate it if you want more stuff, but then that comes into play of now you can drop that 1 biker, add a knob on Smash a Squig, add Wapa's Kill Choppa if you get rid of Follow Me Lads. And then you can have a big unit of Squighog boys, which I think you might actually enjoy because you can have the Stompa in the middle and then the Squighog boys run up the side of the objective you actually want to keep. And then the Death Killer War Trike goes to the side of the objective that you don't care to keep, but you still want to like contest and box people out of. And then that second unit of Squighog boys can either assist on either side. You still have the Gretchen for your backfield, and then Death Coptas gets to go score. I think that rounds out your list to threats plus saturation of models. Competitive Stompa just doesn't necessarily exist anymore because you don't have they changed Titanic, so you can't Overwatch with the Stompa anymore. So competitive is maxed out at whatever the Stomper can do in your matchup. Other than that, I think you did a great job, in my opinion. I would just give that one. My only advice is drop the Warbiker unit. Maybe if you really can't maneuver, the Stomper keeping his distance from the mech. But I think Follow Me Lads is a little bit unnecessary. You could drop Follow Me Lads, and then you'll pay for Edwapa's Kill Choppa, drop the Bikers, you pay for the Naban Smash a Squig, and combine the units, and you're good. That would be my advice for that list.
Yeah, dropping those extra Warbikers also makes a Def Killer play how you intend him to want to play. To be a distraction. You don't want to put too many points on there.
Yeah, because then they get a good trade for points if they go and they're like, oh, I can go just throw throttle on this stupid thing now. So, and usually they're trying to kill that on the not wall turn because it runs forward already. So you're not even getting the exact durability you'd want either. So I'd say that unit you can drop. Just think about this: 3 Warbikers without the knob, or a knob on Smash a Squig, giving that whole unit +1 to hit. Big brick is amazing. So I would say do that, especially because you don't want to like certain matchups -1 to hit, or because you have such little units, you can't whiff on that turn when the squigs go in. And you need dev wounds to go chop out something if you get into a fight. You don't really have other stuff that can fight thick units other than maybe Maz sometimes, and then everybody else kind of just bounces off anything that's thick, right? So I'd say definitely, now that more I think about it, definitely do that little minor change if you're really trying to be competitive. Drop the additional Warbikers, so you only have 3. Make it a Squig Hog boy knob. Drop Follow Me Lads. Add Wapa's Kill Choppa. Boom. I'll make that list optimized in my opinion, but I appreciate it. Whoa! All right. Let's get through some more of these picks and these slides and these chats to see what you get to saying. That's what I'm saying, guys. We're going back and forth here. You know what I'm saying? There's not one or the other. I'm not going to just leave lists up. I'm not just going to rant at you and make you look at my forehead. We're going to talk about all of it, right? Give me pictures, give me matchups. I don't care. We're talking about anything. We got some Orc community debates going on yesterday. You guys are weird. I'm just kidding. Built yesterday's Gazgul. Such a beautiful model. He really is. That's why I got mine. I paid for mine to get painted to the box art. And then I made sure the knobs that the mega knobs that came with them and the box that he came with back then were painted too. That way he has like his own bodyguard bully boys. That's why I like it.
Nice.
And as for this picture, though, speaking of beautiful models, this might be one of the sickest, if not the sickest, flash kit I've ever seen and used. Oh,
for sure, dude. I love his beard.
He's freaking. I need to figure out where these ugly, awesome, hairy, because first of all, orcs don't grow hair, so he took a hair squig and he cut him down and in his face. Second of all, I just like that he looks like he's kind of. When you think of flash kit, he's kind of like a knob, right? He is a knob. So he is a noble, right? That's what knob kind of comes from. So him looking older and bigger looks sick. These are the funniest looking little grots ever. The one on the right looks too happy though. I don't like that.
They look kind of ghoulish.
They do look ghoulish. The one on the right, especially.
Yeah, they were stuck in the warp for some time. Just came out.
Came out of the AOS universe. They just like my universe. And then the Storm Boy in the back is sick as heck with that awesome face, awesome power claw.
He's scary.
Between that flash kit and that Storm Boy is amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna look at you guys leave that up real quick while I look at the chat so you guys don't have to stare at me. And I have thought of 2x5 Ludas for MSU screening, shooting objectives. Yeah, whatever. You could, because I found in my games, there are games that I've overwatched with the flash kits and not felt it necessary, but there are where I'm like, heck yeah, that was sick. So if you don't find yourself missing out on Overwatch in your matchups, in your meta, then just do 2 5-man units and just appreciate having a Docker, right? He goes,
I am Canadian. It goes, whoa, sorry, eh? I didn't know how I wanted to do that.
Yeah. He says, sorry, eh? Canadian was a what? Wait, why are you saying that, dude? What the it's a great day in the north, eh? Okay, guys. Now we're about to be a Canadian stream here. Look what's going on. You guys are too happy. You guys see Canadians start acting up, dude. Typical.
Danish was forbidden. Last time we did that, we raided most of Europe.
Oh my god. Hey, WAAAGH.
I misplayed Gaz, didn't get into a single fight.
Whoa.
I had 4 objectives counting enemy DZ. So he just stayed mid waiting. He brought 2 grav tanks, didn't kill 1, didn't have 2 though.
Didn't have to though. That's weird that he didn't get to kill it. Yeah, I had a similar matchup when I played Tau it was kind of almost a similar thing where he obviously was just like, I don't have nothing to deal with Gaz. So then Gaz just stood there like after he got one charge off into their transport, Gaz just stood there and was just holding the line like if you get close enough, I'm on this objective and I'm gonna get you.
If
So
Gaz can walk down the board like that and not get touched,
But-
I'll take that.
dude, but he can. It's kind of what's surprising, and Sean Naden shows that too. Sure, he might get touched, interacted with. I'm not saying he won't get touched, but you can straight up walk Gaz into the middle and get a charge off into the middle of the table quite reliably in GW terrain. People always look at him in their data sheet and how big he is, and they're like, I can't do it, but try it out at least once and then argue with me. So yeah, and you don't always have to kill. Sounds like you were overwinning. Night Wall from Denmark. Whoa, Comcat, Thomcat, we appreciate you greatly. Member, been here a long time. Mech with follow me lads can't be solo. Yeah, oh yeah, because it needs to follow a unit. Yeah, because it gives a thank you, Aaron. Easy oversight. So definitely listen to that advice. Get rid of that on the mech. Thank you, Aaron.
You got no lads to follow.
Exactly. I know lads for follow, dude. Yeah. Exactly. David's right.
Is that gonna disappear?
Well, oh wait, what's this? Oh shoot. Let me see.
I don't know where it's at.
Oh, I just clicked some random. Sorry. Oh, here it is. Thomcat.
Thanks
I just seen that. David pointed out.
Yeah, thanks for the huge amount of quality or content.
Whoa! I'm glad you
Whoa,
consider it
nice.
quality because it's definitely a lot of content. I appreciate you. We do try. That's what I was saying. I'm glad you say that. Yeah, I wasn't trying. That was awesome. I'm glad you shouted that out. Yeah, I'm glad you shouted that out. Sorry, you get. That was funny. Thanks for pointing that out, Aaron. Someone would have wrote me in chance. I was an idiot.
My uphill battle is fighting Ironstorm against 3 Redemptors, and I have no idea how this list will play into it. Knobs / Squighog are going to bounce with AOS Armor Contempt and -1 damage.
Yeah, that's where the 10-man unit can actually go in and actually be useful. This is also where your Squighogs are going to be useful, right? You're going to have to focus fire some of these Dreadnoughts out. You might not even kill all the Dreadnoughts. There's a chance that also we think of the person we're going to play of as like the most optimal player. Like this is what he's going to do that I don't want him to do. People might just misplay. They might not understand how ridiculously durable the Redemptor Dreadnoughts are for the Orc player and might not put them forward. Right. And that's why when we talked about earlier, I have a Beast Boss on my list because I find it that I need more dev wound potential because of that matchup specifically. Also, don't forget, you're going to need even more CP management because you're going to need to throw grenades into people more often. It's like a chip thing. Just consider Squighog boys plus chip, Squig bombs plus grenades from chipping. And then I go in there and I fight, and then I use Unbridled Carnage, and then I'm within lethal / sustain range. Then you have mathematically bring down 1, Gaz bring down 1, Maz and Gaz jump on 1, whatever, some iteration of that. But anyways, in that matchup, the way to beat them isn't necessarily to kill all the Redemptors. It's to kill their scoring units, not let them just freely score their fixed secondary either, because usually they pick fixed.
Yeah.
So the idea is you need to go and contest them, and stuff like Gaz, is also why I bring him for that reason too, because of that. So yes, be hesitant, but understand that there's a chance he can just straight up the bat not understand his own durability with them and misplay them. It is a difficult matchup, and that's why I'm trying to get good matchups, and I've been doing more RTTs to get into the best players in our local meta that run that. So the RTT I went to that I got third, the person who won ran that. So yeah.
Mech with follow me lads attached to mech guns would be the dumbest thing ever, and I'm all down for it.
Yeah, well, that's because you missed it too. No, I'm just kidding.
I'd take the points from bikers just because of the size of the
Yes, exactly. I mean, like he said, just because of that, that's enough argument. Everything else was just sugar on top, or Oh wait, and before I get to the next one, he said that's why I added Gaz because he has the best chance to one shot a Dread. Yeah. Exactly, and that's why Gaz ended up on my list too. A lot of people were like, "Why are you doing Gaz?" Because -1 damage and -1 AP still gets murked by knobs with lethal / sustained.
Yeah.
All right. Like it says a good chance. Not every time, but that's why put some mortals into it, then it gets murked. So that's also because now I have multiple units that can bring you down and hurt you and stuff. That's also why the Beast Boss goes in there, because he might not kill the Dread, but he will help finish it off if something else already hurt it. I'm Beast Boss on my list, I mean. 20 says, watching the community is growing. Yes, it is the rise of the green tide. Whoa! All right, yeah, we appreciate you guys. Obviously, that's to do with you guys leaving likes and leaving comments all the time for the algorithm. And then, participating, and I know some people share stuff, so I appreciate all you guys with that, and your super chats and everything. Like it matters because people see that people are interacting. It makes people want to be involved. It makes people think that this is real and that we got something. We keep that same energy around here, boys, and we do it live. Keep that in mind too.
True.
We do it live twice a week. We constantly keep doing everything live. I will present information to you live and sit here and not acknowledge that Follow Me Lads requires a unit and not and not be ashamed, because that's just a part of 40K, bro. That's another thing when you're watching Sean Naden's game, right? You realize that even at the top table of GT, how many questions are constantly being asked repetitively. So for someone who's like chill and like, I don't know every rules off the top of my head, not everybody's Art of War, all right? And in fact, only they are Art of War and a couple other dudes. So I think that was very important to watch in general and understand. So I appreciate it. It's funny. He says, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna silly. With someone's face, yeah, they're gonna have a smile and they're gonna shoot you. It's so funny. The terror of moving 5 inches at a time. Yes, Mega Knobs. That's what he say. Oh my god.
Let's go deeper. Second unit of mech guns with a mech with KB custom boosted blaster. If they survive whatever tried to get rid of them, fall back and dock.
I'm just leaving that guy alone.
Is he calling for the mech revolution?
Yeah. Let's see what Peter says.
Oh. Play a decent game tonight against Invasion. Lost to a very good player. Game went well, but dropping second knobs as I needed more stuff. Not sure if flash kits either. Oh.
So you're saying you're ready to run flash kits, or you're not sure if you want them? Because flash kits can help in the matchup. I know why you're saying maybe not, but flash kits can help because they can murk anything that isn't a monster quite reliably in their shooting. Also, when you're dealing with these gargoyles and such, you kind of want to kill them before they can kind of move, block, and get in your way sometimes. Not always, but you know your list and your matchup. And yes, the invasion fleet, because they can choose to sustain, right? They can end up putting stupid. And Tyranids are one of the few factions that has a lot of blast weapons, so they can punish orcs for their blasts as well. Did you bring 2 10-man units of knobs or 2 5-man? That's what I actually kind of want to know. And he just felt like he needs more stuff. One thing I realized also though with NIDs is they don't necessarily have that all of damage. It sometimes really does come down to just stuffing things in their face and just crumping them. Because if you allow them to put you on the back foot with their monsters, they're just trying to sit back and score on you constantly. And they're kind of like playing the game on a timer in their head. They know they're going to run out of resources and fighting potential. They're just trying to throw up enough points as they can. Low key, because I own a Tyranid army too. That's what the problem. That's what it is with Tyranid players. And I made that mistake once when I played into the Vanguard fleet the first time I played into the new codex. I felt like I could have, all I had to do to win that game, because I lost within 10 points, was just throw all the gas a little bit and I would ran him over. But I was too like, oh, you have so many cool rules. In reality, I should have just treated him like I treat Space Marines and just get stuck in and run him over, you know? I think the beard orc player is from, I don't even know how to say that. What? Myrmidork?
Mr. Moldor?
Oh, who's a 3D
Moldor?
printing ord and leads the... Oh, okay. And the heads and the prints. That makes more sense because the Storm Boy looks so crazy. Okay, that makes more sense. Thanks, Dagger. So shout out to Mr. Moldor. Damn, I suck.
Moldor?
Oh, yeah, sorry, not me. Mr. Moldor. I didn't say that. Edit that out. All right. Also, why I have Cunning but Brutal on the War Boss, I fall back and I grenade. And you know what's interesting? I want to look into that, but I don't even. Yeah, he's right because you don't even have, because it's shoot or charge. You don't even need to be eligible to shoot to utilize grenade strat. So that means you can fall back, throw a grenade at them, and then charge into them if he chose to. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that. Someone can argue with me about it, but I'm pretty sure you don't even have to be exactly eligible in the same sense to shoot. Or maybe you do. Actually, I think you do have to be eligible. I'm retarded.
You do have to be
I was like, hold on. I was like, that was something else. I meant to say that you can advance and still throw the grenade. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, you do have to be eligible, but I meant I had a different context in my head of what it was being used for. I'm surprised you would want to throw a grenade and fall back. Why don't you just want to shoot? I mean, charge. Wouldn't you just want to charge? Right?
I guess it depends on what else is a target to charge.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And mortals, we were just talking about how useful that is. So yeah. Sorry guys, with the context of when they use the grenade straight out having a brain fart. Tomorrow's RTT. Someone is taking the Warlord Titan with guard. Can't wait to bring it down. Let's go. We war for Gork and Mork. That's what I'm talking about. Let me pull up another list because you guys have been getting me lost in the sauce here.
Yeah, it's not even based off if you're able to shoot. It just
Oh.
says that you've not been selected to shoot.
Oh, and there you go. Then there's
Well,
not. So
that's
read
the
it. Read it
workaround.
out loud. So I wasn't wrong, right?
So 1 grenades unit from your army that is not within engagement range of any enemy units and has not been selected to shoot this phase. You can use the grenade strap.
There you go. So really, it all revolves around just the keyword. So I was okay.
Yeah,
So
just
I
keyword.
wasn't that wrong. I was. So that is the idea.
Which
He
is-
wants to.
yeah.
Oh, and it was cunning but brutal. I said custom booster blaster. Sorry, I was thinking about that buggy. I was too excited. The idea is the war boss can fall back. He doesn't need to be eligible to shoot. He's technically not shooting, so he can throw a grenade and charge. Which is interesting because if you got something that's thick or you got to put mortals into, you can finish him off. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Into those redemptors.
Yeah, I like that.
Because those redemptors aren't going to be able to kill you fast enough with only 5 attacks.
Usually not, except for unless they get lucky. Because remember, they have that strat where if they're shooting into a hurt unit, then it becomes critical 5s, I believe, and sustain, and then you can get a stupid amount of volume. But they can't shoot their blast, which is where their volume comes from. So you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that macroplasma.
You're right, because sorry, I was thinking about that. But if you're stuck in there, they're not going to blast you. So yeah.
So it wouldn't even be worth the CP to do that.
No.
With the weaker guns.
No, but don't be exposed because of that strat. Is what I was going to say. Because you might think Argus nails, I have invul, I can survive, and then you can take fucking 12 plasma shots to the face. Sorry, I said that word. But you can take 12 plasma shots to the face, and then let's get another list up on here. We got about 4 or 5 lists left over. We can go through. So let's do this.
All right.
Leroy. All right, David.
All right, this is a beast boss with super cyborg body, big mech and mega armor with follow me lads, a big mech with shock attack gun, boss Snickrot, Maz, Nabon Smasher Squig with head whoppers kill chopper, a pain boss, and Zodgrod Wartsnagger.
Automatically bunch of characters. Let's go.
Character hammer. All right, 120 Beast Snagger Boy unit, 2 10-man Beast Snagger Boys.
And he put in here for us, reserves them.
Strategic reserve. All right, 1 truck.
You put Mega Knobs. This guy did it well. Good job, nice. Leroy. Be more like a Leroy he gets. No, I was kidding.
2 units of Gretchen, unit of commandos, 5-man twin kill saw Mega Knobs in the truck. Mech gun, custom mega cannon, a brick of Squig Hog Boys, and a Storm Boy unit.
And then he gives a little note.
Yeah, the meta's casual. His army is 80% painted. Whoa! Table is 44 by 60 with kill team terrain and another 2 kits of ruins from Middle Earth and 2 more story terrain too. Versus Necrons, usually 2 random secondaries is how we always play. I keep a rapid ingress force and strategic reserves to capitalize mistakes early. My battle line forces kind of wad up into battle head on. I can send me anywhere to sit on objectives and the Gretchen screen out the backfield and generate CP.
Okay. So let's see. Does that list do that? What he's trying to look at, what he's talking about. So he has a fat unit of these guys are reserves, I assume, still, because they're the fat unit. Because I assume the big unit is on the table.
Yeah, the big unit's on the table.
Yeah, so then this beast boss is on reserve. This one right here. Okay, so I'm just an idea of what he's doing here. He has this Grisad, so he can do infiltrate plus scout. So he's running out the table quite quick. Snickrot, redeploy. A lot of tricky things that most people wouldn't be expecting from an orc player, I would say in here. And considering you know who you're playing into, and like you said, your meta is casual, right? You sent me a picture. You're playing with friends. You guys are playing again and again repetitively. So it seems like, yes, like we always like to say, Necrons, first of all, don't have a lot of activations. In general, they're not really killy, so they don't really like to see that. You will have to deal with the new Necrons, and the new Necrons themselves do as infiltrating. So you being an infiltrator will help, and scouting will help. That way you can actually box them out from objectives, because that's the thing you'll have to do. That way they don't just try to sneak them and take them from you, because their rules are predicated off being on objectives as well.
Yes.
So you're gonna want to kind of find ways to not allow that to happen with their new index. The Beast Snagger Boys being able to get up to strength 6 on the wall will also help you with that, because stuff like Freights is T6. So that's going to be good for you too. The Pain Boss is going to give them problems having that many boys for OC if you're playing into Necrons reliably. And Big Mech and Mega Armor with Follow Me Lads. I like that. I think he requires that because the dudes on their own are only movement 5.
Right.
So very much require it. I think this list is low key actually kind of strong if you're playing casually with your friends too. Like you're playing definitely casually because you're bringing a bunch of characters and all shenanigan abilities. Yet none of them are bad abilities, and they actually play into the addition and how the game is played very well now. And your mission factor because you're doing what, like 2 missions. You're kind of doing a version of fixed
Right.
in your head, so you're casually fixed. So yeah, you kind of want to already be in certain places in the table if you're doing fixed, which is kind of what you're doing. So because you're casual, I'm not going to tell you to change it. I'm just appreciating it for what it is and pointing out the strong suits of it. Because like, for example, I would say you don't need him, but it's a casual game. That's why you're bringing him. The things you will appreciate about him is awesome AP, sometimes inducing battle shock. You'll appreciate that. And mech gun will appreciate him. So from his data sheet ability. So
Yeah, I also like he has a lot of bodies here. So if Necrons try to do their reanimation shenanigans and trying to get on objectives, you have enough bodies to screen them out from even getting on the objectives.
yeah. So
Especially with the 20-man deployed unit.
Yeah, so I'm into this list. I don't feel like you overpaid for too many things, even though it's a narrative, fun, friendly game. So great job, Leroy
Jenkins.
And I know you're a little new to the community, so I appreciate you getting in. I appreciate that. You get here's a little gas model. Boom. We're gonna talk about this in a second. Just let you guys stare at it for a second.
The Mech Boy Workshop.
Okay, let me see where we
The
at.
most feared, revered 40k model there is.
Okay, he said he had 2 10-man units of the knobs. Okay, I can see why you don't. Okay, yeah. If you had 20, I'm against bringing 20 as well because now, like I always say, that 1 10-man unit scalpel, I call it the scalpel. You can bring 2 of them, you're still acting like a scalpel because you're cutting out the problem. The thing is, when you bring 2, that's more like a machete or a sword because now that's a lot of points investment on your army, and now the knobs themselves are kind of like an architect of your army because you've doubled down in that data sheet and that combination compared to if you go into Gaz with those points. Then you get Gaz is now affecting those same scalpel, but at the same time, he's bringing his own problem solving potential. You get it? So that's why I would say you're on the right path if you drop this 10-man unit knobs. I say drop the second 10-man units of knobs first before you drop the flash kits and go from there. Unless you really don't care to have the flash kits. That's a great idea, Daggers. He always has great ideas. The next thing he's going to tell us is how to use green stuff. Modular, MIU, Ork, modular, Ork. That was a mouthful. You know, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. You know, we're talking about that. Use grenade from advance. In our local agreed that if you can have assaulted, you can use grenade from the advance. And I'll tell you what, you guys agreed, right? But if you go to like an event, most likely, I think most TLs will actually argue that you can advance and do it anyways. You don't need to even have assault.
Right.
Because how the wording of it is you don't even need to be eligible to shoot. And yeah, we can talk about that more because Orks have a ton of grenades on their data sheets.
Yeah, it's weird because some units don't even have guns, but they still are able to use tank shots.
I love that. I love that grenade strat. Yeah, I love that. And then, like I said with Wall Day, remember 90% of our data sheets have grenade keyword. Yeah, when we were going over, what was it? I think we were talking about that, how like almost everything has grenades. It's very orky, right? From like biker, storm boys, squig hog boys. That's something people forget. You could throw bomb squigs, then you can throw grenades, and then you can charge someone. This is why, like I said, that's how you chip down these guys that you can end up going into. What other units have grenades that are hilarious? You know who don't have grenades though? That don't mess this up? 1, 2, 3, beast snaggers. So beast snagger boys don't have the grenade strat. Okay. So yes, 90% do, that little percent that don't. So squig hog boys do, but the beast snagger boys don't. So I wanted to make that distinction.
I guess you need a mount to carry the grenade.
He said, we have grenades, ? Oh, I'm going to assume you're correcting us because we don't have grenades. We got stick bombs. Whoa. So yeah. All right, let's look at, so this was sent to us from one of, in our Discord, very, he's not here anymore in the chat. I don't see him around, but he's always in our gym, or I think Jim, his name I always mess up, but this is his Mech Boy workshop that he put together. Very beautiful how he decided to do this.
Oh yeah,
right?
I like the snow effect here.
Yeah, I decided that I'm going to show this off because he deserves that that. I'll leave that up for a second. But also what I want to do is pull up another list.
Let's
go. I think that last one Went fast. Oh, Mr. 2. So here we are, Mr. 2 with your list. It's about time you get. So David.
All right, you got the Big Mech and Mega Armor. You got Death Killer Wartrike with Super Cyborg Body. Oh, and the Big Mech and Mega Armor has Follow Me Lads. I was looking for
I didn't see that
enhancement.
either, actually. Good job. Yeah.
Then now about Smash a Squig with Head Wappas Kill Chopper, a War Boss, Boss Snickrot, and Maz Scragbed. And I think there was another character. Go all the way up. Go higher. Yeah. That's just saying he's the warlord.
Oh, okay. I was like,
So
yeah,
it's
no.
not that's the same character, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're the same.
Yeah,
character.
so it's just one.
Yeah, he was just letting him know that was his warlord.
All right. Then unit 10 boys, 2 units of Gretchen, your commando unit. Then you got two-man Mega Knobs and a 5-man.
Yeah.
And you got your Scalpel unit, 10 knobs, and a brick of Squig Hog
Let's
boys.
go. So his list is his notes.
All right, army list I was thinking of bringing to my next RTT. Haven't gone to test it though much yet.
Mhm.
Only 2 casual matches, but both after the war. Strategy commandos to react to deny scout infiltrators, mech guns. You had a mech gun on you?
Wait, what?
Did I miss it?
Maybe your mech gun didn't show up when you sent me the whole thing. Oh, he said I didn't get the whole list.
Oh,
what? I thought I did I got the whole thing. I must have missed something. Keep reading it. I'm sorry, guys. I must have left the. Boy, they're probably Storm Boys. I'm assuming Storm Boys and bikers on those lists. Sorry, Gib. And I don't know how I messed that up.
Mech guns for punching tanks and attracting shots, together with Wartrike and commandos. While I can move up scalpels. Is that all?
Yeah.
No.
Well, scalpels
for the wall punch. Dual mobs are love. Dual mobs are life. Action monkeys, sturdy screeners, blockers, and Snickrot will be more of a reactionary solo character that will keep back to react. Okay.
Oh, so you're not even gonna put Snickrot with the Mandos. That's interesting. So you should tell me how that goes, because I'm thinking about running a solo Snickrot or Mandos. You're saying I'm gonna use both and keep them separate units. That's hilarious, and I like that. And
more
interesting
activations.
Yeah, more activations, like we said, and they don't get a great trade for killing now that Mando unit that's kind of expensive as shit already. I do like mech guns. I think they need to go down in points because we want to kind of be able to pop transports, right? And then, like you said, he does have bikers on this and such. And then the 2-man units of Mega Knobs, like you said, they're life. Man, I do like 2 units of Mega Knobs for that same reason. They're so small, you can put them in terrain pieces. And then when they do jump out and they're standing in the way in a lane or they're starting to get stuck in, sure, when they go and charge a transport and they're stuck in that transport for a while, right? And they're keeping it in place. Over time, they will kill that transport, and the transport probably won't kill them compared to like a unit of boys or knobs that touch it. Let's say like 2 knobs are left over, or 3, we'll say, or like 2 knobs and a war boss. There's actually a good chance they don't kill that transport sometimes, because you could, they could still shoot them with their storm bolters and whatever. Right. Really, the Mega Knobs with their actual durability in different ways, having great strength and reroll and AP is what's going to make the difference there. So I think those small units are kind of get slept on, because when you start tagging stuff with them, they do erode what they're getting tagged into, because they're typically, if it's an infantry, wounding it on 2s.
Yep.
And then if it's not, then they're wounding it on 3s and re-rolling. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. What's annoying about these units is further point cost, how tough they are. You're not going to see a lot of 60-point units contest or trade out with this Mega Knob unit.
Okay, Mr. 2 said, what I'm missing is 2 war biker units, so 2x3, 2 custom mega cannons, so 2 mech guns, and then 2 trucks. Okay, thank you, sir. I don't know how those didn't get through on there. I appreciate that. So that makes the list even better, because he has the 2 trucks. So he has it for the Mega Knobs and the boys. Or I'm sorry, the knobs and the Mega Knobs, maybe? Maybe is that what he's doing? Or wait.
There's like a normal boy unit.
No, you can't put them in the truck, because he has the Big Mac. So let me see, Mega Armor. How many Mega Knobs are here? That's 6. Oh no, he could fit them all in there.
12.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna assume it's the knobs and the Mega Knobs going in that. Oh, he put knobs in the boys. Okay, cool. So he's gonna ingress them in them.
The Mega Knobs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That makes more sense. Okay, that's cool. They are friggin' slow, so yeah, whatever. Ingress them in. I think that's something slept on, that people need to treat them more like Terminators and ingress them in more on the table. Now, what do we like about this list? I like Mega Knobs. I do for the durability. You know your meta if they can survive. Death Killer Wartrike, love them. Squig, War Boss, stick around, and you still got mobs. Yeah. This, honestly, because you decided to invest like 200 points from the Mandos and the Snickrots, and you have this interesting little tech pieces, This is almost like its own archetype list in its own sense, because you still brought some of the stuff we have. You decided like for the bikers and the custom mega cannons for the mech guns, but none of this is like the exact orc archetype, right? You didn't give up a nasty bring it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you gave up a little assassinate, but you didn't give up a nasty bring it down here. So you only giving that up. So it's still sticking to the rules that we want. Yeah, I'm into this list. You have enough activations with all these units, yet you still have enough punch. You have enough mission play. It is going to come down to, because you're shenanigan-y with Snickron and your Mandos, reps would help you, but you seem to understand already what you're trying to do with that. I know the list is pretty good. Does he have any leftover points? It looks like it's exactly 2,000, right?
Yeah, exactly 2,000.
Yeah, I'm good into this. I think the only thing you might run into, like all of us will have issues with, not just you, is the Iron Storm, right?
Yeah.
Something that's thick like that, you could run into kind of some kind of issue. Other than that, when it comes to like a take all comers into the meta, it's right on point, because you have the distraction, you have this contesting, skirmishing, you have the distraction and miles of killing, and also taking so much anti-tank fire. Snickrod, if he goes solo, do secondaries or late game to start messing with people. Mandos to stop other infiltration. The knob on Smash with Edwapas, because that's what I like my Edwapa on. So yeah, and then you got even the 10-man unit of boys to run up and be stupid. So really, it's a very interesting, different take, Mr. 2. I actually greatly appreciate this list, and I don't want to change it or advise anything, because I think it's trying to play its own way.
Yeah,
it is trying to play its own way. They're not taking in the trucks as much, trying to bring stuff down, reserve it. They're going to run these little stupid Mega 9 units and advance them into the midboard, and then start trying to do secondaries or start making dumb charges or standing in lanes, or and stuff like that. So this is going to come up to you, Mr. 2, and some matchup dependent as well, always, right? But this is going to come down to you, Mr. 2, optimizing those kind of tech pieces you brought. All right, guys, we're getting through this. Let me see. Did I miss anybody's thing? Let's see. We were at this. That's his Christmas gift workshop. And he put a little grab in. Where in Discord do we put the list? So there's an actual list review one, but if you want me to go over it, I ask people to send it to me, and then they send like their information. And then before the stream, I set it up and put it in its own little tab with the notes, and I know what I'm going to go over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we're going to do these more often, these hobby streams.
Yeah, I think we should do these like once a month. Like what we're going on today right now. I think we should do these like once a month. That way the pictures can add up and everything like that. People can go maybe an RTT. They want RTT a month, send their list in. But we want that interaction. So we'll pick a Friday every month, and we'll do this every month. So if you missed it now and maybe your models didn't get shown, or I missed it because I have a fat head, we can fix this. Let's see. Yeah, I guess he sent me a file and I didn't download it. If you did.
I'm waiting on the codex to build my workshop. Knowing my luck, though, legends when we got Speed Freaks detachment. Still in the plastic. Maybe a collector's item since GW don't make it no more.
Oh, good call out on that, right? Ooh, Ade over here thinking ahead. You proper get. I have mine, and it looks like crap, and I like it. I don't care. Woo! I'm taking it. You're right, though. If you have to put the time into actually putting it together, that'd be a little annoying. Dave, you can read it.
I actually have the mech shop and the boss bunker build. Just need an excuse to run them. Ooh, do you think we'll see a boss bunker tomorrow?
Oh,
that would be great. I don't think you
I
mentioned
don't
that.
think so, but I would love if someone brought a boss bunker. Oh, here you go. You can do this too.
Another fun knobs fact: use the ammo runs for lethal pistol shots. 12 dice with war boss. I got lucky and shaved 3 wounds off a demolisher.
That is very lucky, because I do remember, and I swear to God, it's never gone off. And usually, right, I'm like, get stuck in, and most of the guys die, so I kind of forget about the pistols and the ammo run thing.
Yeah.
There are situations you can definitely do this for sure. I'm not saying you don't, but yes, never forget that. It's always fun. Here we go.
Hi, folks. Mick Chardy here. Here, hoping all is well.
Whoa! I don't. Were you from Discord maybe, and I didn't know, or what happened? Said that's a good looking dude. You talking about me again? I got you, boy. What's up? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah.
I really, dude. This is why I kept it on so long. Just look how many layers.
Oh yeah.
Of detail and
the blend of color
and blending
you
is
just
amazing.
brought it all together well.
I really appreciate it. I'm going to leave it up for a second. But also, I'm going to pull up another list real quick because we're been going at this for a while. So maybe I go a little faster on this list.
Mr. Chardy's from the Discord.
Okay. That's what's up. There you are, Mr. Chardy. Thank you, buddy.
All right, here's another 2K list.
Yeah. I don't have your name. You get whoever does. I'm sorry. All
right, we got Gazgul Thraka, Mazrog Scragbed, a Beast Boss, Naban Smash Squig with Head Wappa's Kill Chopper, 2 War Bosses, 1 War Boss in Mega Armor with Follow Me Lads, 2 10-man Beast Snagger Boys, 2 10 Gretchen, and 1 3-man Mega Knob and 1 5-man, and 2 5-man Knob units with a Storm Boy unit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
No.
1 3-man Squig Hog Boys, 4 trucks, and that's it.
That's the whole list. All right, and then he left his little notes in the bottom.
Meta is player placed with full first floor line of sight blocking terrain. Creates forest, mostly trying to spam power claws, high AP, and infantry to better hide and jump through ruins. Have swapped out Beast Boss, Beast Snagga, and 1 truck for more Squig Hogs, Storm Boys, Grots, or shift scoring and killing ability.
All right, let's go. I get it. So he has 4 trucks, yeah. Because I was gonna say this does look similar to one on my list, but I wouldn't run. I don't break up the knob unit yet. But you said it has the Beast Boss on here. So did you have 2 before? Is that what he was saying? He had more before?
I think he was saying he swapped the combo out. The Beast Boss have swapped out Beast Boss, Beast Snagga, and 1 truck for more Squigs.
So he has
already. He had more?
So did you have 2 before? Maybe he had 2.
I think he had 2.
Right? Maybe he had 2. Yeah. So if you had 2, I would think that's too much because then again, you have the same tool twice, right? If I have a nail, do I need multiple hammers? I mean, maybe, but probably not. Right? Because I have a hammer already. It's kind of like that with the knobs too. So let's look at it from top to bottom. If you want this with AP, right? You're dealing with AP. Obviously, that's Gaz helps with that. He helps your knobs actually perform better as well. So I really greatly appreciate that. Multiple war bosses, because then when the war bosses go off, this has been true. And the war boss mega armor with Follow Me Lads, reserving them seems to be the way to go and coming in from reserves, honestly. If you put them in a truck too. But this is, you can see he is going for the theme of I need more AP, and I like that. This is following the new archetype, in my opinion. The one question I have is, how is this going to look? Not for you exactly, right? Because this is just a question to all of us are having for ourselves, is because I'm in favor of this list. I think it's good. Is where does it goes to here after the data slate? Right? Because I already like this kind of list. Where is it going here? One thing I was going to say too that I think I'm noticing is this 1 3-man unit, Quick Hog Boys?
Yeah, just 1 3-man.
And then he has a Skill Chopper. Yeah, I'd say, yeah, not to be a butthead and be demanding. If you could find a way, possibly, I know you want more of that. I'm just very much in favor of really optimizing Edwapa's Kill Chopper and the Naban Smasher Squig into 1 big brick of Squig Hog Boys. So if you have the models, you didn't say if you did or you don't, I would say you will not be upset about doing that. So I try to make that a big brick of Squig Hog Boys. If you don't have the models, that's fine. Everything else you did though is very much in the meta, is very much going to help you with the problem you're trying to do. Player place terrain is a tricky thing in itself, because if you're going to the gun line, shooting armies, and depending on the store, right? Some stores will tell you I have to put this in the middle for a certain degree. Some places don't, and then people just go like, haha, I have first deployment, so I don't have to do this. There's a bunch of rules and stipulations to player place terrain, you guys. Some people really like it because it helps with like skewed matchups, but that requires a skill in itself. And I don't know the rules for the kind you're doing, but I'm sure you kind of figured out, because it seems like you're already figuring this list out. The one thing I would say is maybe find a way to bring another brick of Squig Hog Boys on here. And 4 trucks is good. Is actually a pretty good number. I think 3 is fine too if you decide that you after need to drop them. But I think he found more points to add more. So it seems like he wants just more. Just my preference is if you do squeeze out more points for more Squig Hog Boys, I feel like it'd be worth it. But he might be stuck with like 50 points left over if he does that or something stupid. Well, Beast Snagga Boys are 105, and then Squig Hog Boys are 110.
So where's 2000?
And I think he's exactly 2,000. I don't know. He says the limit, and it says 2,000. So it might be just he doesn't have it. So don't really. That's such a hard
Oh, if
margin.
you consolidate the knobs into one, that save you a war boss.
But people want that for the activation.
I get it.
So,
But with player place, and then first floor line of sight blocking, like there's plenty of staging points you can have for these larger units,
Mhm.
and they can just be thrown in the truck while they're staging too.
Yeah. This listed thing is good. I think
good.
it's already pretty look. It's doing a different version of what of our archetypes are becoming because it's double activation of knobs, but you're also bringing the mega knobs, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Also one thing I noticed here, I don't know if you did this just because it's a typo or whatever. I'm very much in favor of them all having twin kill saws because if you're already hitting on 4s, I need my wounds to be highly reliable, and I need that -3 AP.
Yeah.
Right? If I have low volume attacks hitting on 4s, even these guys, even if they are hitting on 3s, I still, because of low volume attacks, need to be wounding very well and then re-rolling and wounding optimally, so efficiently. So maybe it was just a typo, but I'd say twin kill saws, and there's almost no argument you can make for not doing that. But yeah, I thought that was a good list, dude. Great job. I'm seeing more and more of these double activation, like having 2 knobs and 2 war bosses type of thing. Sweet orc skin color. Okay, so so now you're trying to be clear now, right? Because I said good looking dude. People want to be clear now. They're like, not you, homie. Like, no, I was kidding.
They could be saying your skin color.
Okay. Oh, no, I was kidding. Charlie H. On the night shift at the moment, so I'm glad I can make the stream. Well, we're glad we're here for you.
Thanks for being here.
I've been on a night stream before too, dude, and I worked as a CNA, and I know how I can be, you know. So that's cool, dude. We hope we get that good energies for you right now. Just played guard tonight, and Morkanaut didn't pop off as well today. Yeah, Morkanaut can swing, my boy. Morkanaut is my love. I have a pretty awesome Morkanaut, but he is suffering right now with his points and his actual capabilities in the game, in my opinion. No?
Yeah, didn't he go up points too for some reason?
And GW put him up, and then they brought him back down,
okay.
and then they brought him up. Okay. Oh, well, one more list?
Let's go.
We'll do another list. Let's do another list, boys.
All right, and this one's Nerfy DeWall.
Nerfy DeWall.
All right, we got 3 mechs.
Right, this guy's really crazy. All right, keep going.
3 10-man Gretchens. 2 Death Dreads.
He's trying.
2 Gorkanauts.
He's trying.
2 3-man. Is this 3 or 4?
They're 4-man
Grot
plus
tanks. A kill tank.
With a Giga Shooter.
2 mega guns with bubble chuckers.
Mech guns.
And the Mecha Dread.
I actually like the Mecha Dread. I still think he's a little too many points. If you can bring him down GW to like 185, I'd be happy, but you won't do it because you hurt us. One thing, I'll just take a few shots out here because this is obviously a fun list. You're doing your own thing. You don't really care, but there's a couple things I want to point out that might make you feel better or get a little bit more optimally. One is the Giga Shooter. I don't think it's worth it. It looks like you might want it to be worth it, but honestly, throwing flat damage 3 shots with the other primary weapon is better because the Giga Shooter is the one that gives sustained, right? You really want the cannon. And then the Gorkanauts, I love double Gorkanauts, to be honest. You might want to reserve one, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
And then 2 Grot tanks. I love that. This was just trying to have fun and have a good time. I'm not going to try to manipulate it too much. Just things I'd point out. If you're not going to do it to the Morkanaut, do it to the Mech Dread because you decided to give it arms for melee instead. I think that's the right idea as well because you want the twin linked and the melee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I actually like that too. And then, yeah. So actually, I'm going to leave this list as it is.
Very thematic.
I really thematic. I'm friggin' sick. I would just say you don't need the Giga Shooter. If you want, you can drop it. I do agree with the double melee arms, for anybody wondering. The Death Dreads, if you give it Flamers, you won't be sad. I think Flamers can come off and being a little helpful, especially because you already have so much elite and thicky, big, stompy stuff. You might appreciate a couple.
Is he just looking for anti-chaff shooting with that Giga Shooter?
Maybe because he doesn't have anything else for that. Yeah. And the bubble chuckers, since you roll for it, you don't get to choose. So he might just need it because he's deciding I need the volume of shots.
Yeah. I'm sure he's been move blocked before.
Yeah. So if that's the case, go ahead. That's dope.
Maybe.
Go ahead. I'm nothing wrong with that. I think it's pretty sick though. I mean, I'm looking forward to bringing Gorkanaut, Morkanaut, kill tanks tomorrow. So Let's do a couple of these. Let's do some more chats because we're going to close us out soon, I think, and then go through. I think we still have some good pictures here and everything. So let's get your last pictures and thoughts for now, guys, before we fade into the wall. Any thoughts on how we tech into guard? I actually think that's where something, if you're really like teching in the guard, Mandos become interesting. They can't overwatch you. You know, we all know that they're the Hellhounds are amazing, actual for shooting because they're flamers, but also because they get to ignore cover. So you want to run up and stop that from positioning where it wants to do. They have infiltration that they want to set up. They want to do indirect fire. They want to clog you up and hold you back with their battle line and their regenning units. And they want to do fixed secondaries. So they're going to pick assassinate. If you're giving that up, they're going to bring it down. If you're going to give it up, don't give up both, or you just lost the game anyways. So if you want to tech into them, don't bring any fixed secondaries. Brendan, I'm not saying tech into people because I don't think you should do that. But if you are having hard games into them and they're in your meta, these are ways that it will help, right? Commandos most likely because they can ignore watch, but also you want to run up and start touching things. You understand that you can't always kill their tanks. So sometimes just running up and getting in their way is an issue. Being smart enough to not kill the regenning units fully sometimes is the way to go too, right? They might, you might think that you're doing the right thing by killing them, but really you're allowing them to get something in reserves and then put it back on the table somewhere else. So be smart when you choose when to do that and understand they're going to have firepower. Like I would say understand that they are one of the few armies that does have the volume and the kind of like profiles to kill orcs because we don't have great armor saves because normally they have bad AP. So that's why GW get in. They're hitting on 4. So that's why GW's like, here you go. You got a lot of blast. You got a lot of small arms fire. You got some this here and there. But for orcs, that stacks up very quickly. So when you do expose yourself, understand that they most likely will have the firepower to deal with you, right? So it does become tagging, jumping from here to there, not fully killing something and surrounding it, making him have the fallback and go a direction he doesn't want to do. And then he can't do secondaries with that and killing his units that he's using for scoring and just stuff like that. Like they're our hardest matchup even statistically on paper right now. We have like a 39% win rate into them. So it is a bit hard. I would say getting up the board as quickly as possible and pushing them into the deployment zone is the best way to deal with them, not letting them get in their backfield with their regenning. And understand that they have to pass the scions that they're going to try to use to do all their scoring, like deploying homers in your backfield. So better to just screen them out than to worry about killing them, because when you charge out from your deployment zone, they're going to just bring those scions in back and drop them in your deployment zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
So, yeah. Where are the dev copters at? Right there. Bam. There's a lot. We already showed dev copters. You mean on the list?
Yeah, they saw
RTT tomorrow. I've been building terrain for 3 days, and now I got no idea what to take. Whoa. That's a big thing to do. If you don't have no idea what to take, I don't know what you own, so it's very hard to say. We're going to get off soon. So if you can give me a quick synopsis of what you have, we can compile ideas. David.
'Twas the wall before Christmas, and all through the night, not a unit was painted, not even a grot.
Wicked Joe's gonna be at the event tomorrow, guys. Yeah, he's gonna be at the event for us tomorrow. So it's funny because when we started this 2 hours ago, he's like, "I'm gonna get painted, might not finish. I'm gonna get ready." 2 hours later, in 7 minutes, he goes, "I didn't do nothing." I'm like, stupid. It's so funny how you just worded it. That was a great song. That was awesome. No, don't say sorry. I said, let me know what you got, dude. Throw it at me. I'm just letting you know. You better start typing. No, I'm just kidding. We got some time. It was a fun match with Grey Knights.
Okay.
Gorks absent. Oh, he said when he played with that list
with the mech list.
Gorks popped. The Gorks are sick. The Marks are not, but the Gorks are sick. The Mecha and the Mecha Dread. Oh, he actually did something? That's cool.
Oh, nice. Also did some WAAAGH tactics on the stream. I played in tonight. Oh, nice.
What are some WAAAGH tactics on the stream?
He used WAAAGH tactics.
Also did
from the stream that he played into.
You played on the stream right now, and you didn't. Oh, man, he was awesome WAAAGH tactics. What I'm talking about, my boy. I like to hear that.
Let's see a link.
Wait, hold on, David.
Oh, Eddie, this Gary Nid player, my son runs local events.
Gary. All right, guys, you want to know, Gary is one of our local TOs, really great guy. He runs our events. He has good terrain that he sets up himself and that he sells that is really good. But also that he's very helpful because he shows up and he always gives all the information for the factions he's playing right off the bat from when we're going to have to go into them. So if I've actually asked him about Nids and Space Wolves and stuff like that. He does very well at a lot of our local events. And the GT I went to was the one he ran at the Armed Forces one. So Gary's awesome. So thanks for being here, Gary. That's really cool. What does it say right here?
I have Nids painted, Death Guard and Space Wolves not painted.
Yeah.
So it seems it comes down to one.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I know for a fact that Death Guard list is awesome. I think if you're running the Rhino Rush one, I really appreciate that. But Nids, dude, I think Nids, they require great generalship. And then they do kind of have some hard matchups, right? So it just goes like, because it's like, man, I really want to see Nids like maybe get somewhere to win events, like at the top. But if you run into multiple Norns, you're going to get one matchup where someone does have enough firepower to kill those Norns. If you're running too much Vanguard, like trash stuff, people might have the firepower and activations to pick all that up. If I could choose, which I can't, I would say Death Guard. I would say pick Death Guard because that list you're running with the Rhino Rush is, AK Imperial Knights. Yeah. Okay. I think Imperial Knights are not in the great spot right now anyways. So, I mean, you ran them when they were where they're at. They were awesome. I would say Death Guard. I think you're running the Rhino Rush list. I like that one the most.
I like that archetype.
I really do like that archetype. And I think you run the Brigands and everything like that. So I'm really into that list. And I actually will want to play one. So hit me up because I think you're still doing that every weekend thing, those games, so we can get a practice in. I really need that into those. I put this picture because anybody that puts this much effort into their bomb squig deserves this picture to be shown. Bam. I did the same thing when I first got my Grats. I like painted the belt buckles and everything. I was super into it, and then I realized no one ever looked at my belt buckle. This is like ever. All right, so he said I did some shout outs for WAAAGH Tactics. Oh, okay. Whoa, I don't know what stream were you on, but thanks for the shout out. Let's go.
Awesome. Thank you.
That's what I appreciate. Part of the wall, part of the crew. Let's go. Mr. 2, I don't know how you're still conscious. I'm pretty sure it's like 4 a.m. where you're at. Yeah, these are Ork daggers. These are daggers Grot tanks. These are his iteration of Grot tanks. Of course, he has to over your flex on me, dude. Can you relax with this awesomeness? No, I was kidding.
I like the one in the middle a lot.
They're like actually the one in the middle is the same as the one on the right. It's just a side.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it looks like a mech gun on treads. Right? Is it one?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, and that you can pick that. I'm pretty sure it's one of the profile. Is the very custom Mega Blast stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So let me leave that up for a second. I'm a programmer. I never sleep, only snooze. Oh goodness, you got that robot brain. You got that weird boy brain, that mech brain, Mr. 2. Let's see. I think we only have a couple slides left for pictures, anyways. Let me see. Do I have one more? Oops. Do I have one more list left? Maybe.
I think there was one left.
Oh, I do. Now, one more list. From the Dark Lord, Aaron. Let's go. Whoa, for Aaron, because Aaron is the last list. And also, I told him I was going to cover this. So I'm glad we got it.
Was that him?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Okay. So let's see. Going to them.
All right. We got Mazrag's Cragbad, a weird boy.
Yeah. He literally just has Mazrag and the weird boy. Then he has, this is just total 15? Infantry points. Huh?
You can go up to 15 on Burn Boys?
He has yeah, you can actually go up to that weird number. Yeah.
Nice.
Weird Burner Boys are actually one of those weird units that you can get them up to 15 and you get 3 spanners.
Awesome. So it's 2 units of 15 Burner Boys.
But why is that?
Because he's got 2 gargantuan squiggles.
Whoa! Let's go. Who owns that? You psycho. No, I was kidding. Okay.
And for y'all asking about the Def Copters, we got 2 units here.
Let's go. Def Copter's been all over the list tonight. And then he has Grot tanks. What is that?
Yeah, 2 units of 4 Grot tanks.
Okay, perfect. And then see what he says right here.
And he says, burn a boys in the squiggle to clear potential move block chaff. They can also be disembarked to take objectives and countercharge with Overwatch. 12 D6 flamers plus 3 D3 rockets. They will likely all be safe until they are in range. 2 squiggles and Maz give 3 beefy targets to shoot at. I can dip Maz behind cover if he doesn't die and turn 1, which gives the squiggles more time to crump. Then the Grot tanks and Coptas fly the flanks.
Sorry, I scrolled up.
They can help with rockets on big stuff and clear any small deep strike units. Grot tanks are great for charge baiting.
Yeah, charge baiting. I would say for sure the Grot tanks, prioritize them transports, boy, right? If you go, let's say with Gary's list, with the rhino list, he's running like 4 rhinos, I think, or 3 rhinos. That's something that Orks we have an issue with, is we have an issue with popping enemy transports, which is why I've been looking at grot tanks and stuff like that as a whole, and why I think mechans hopefully can come down for us because they help us with that a little bit. Your list, I can see you obviously have a theme in what you're trying to do here. It's very obvious what's happening here. So can I give advice on to what to do? No. This is very much you're doing what you're doing, but you're flexing it and showing to everybody. So I appreciate that.
I like it.
I like that. So I'm gonna leave that up for a second and see if there's any more chats to go over with that. I appreciate that.
There's a nice comment for you about your painting. Aaron.
Let's see.
It's talking about you painting belt buckles.
Belt buckles is the first thing I notice about people. What the fuck? Hold on, dude. What? Really? You're a cowboy. You know what I'm saying? And this is a picture of some awesome, that's a custom little novel wall banner. And then you can see it has this dope theme. There's the same person who painted that same beast boss, that sick beast boss that was on pick for a while earlier.
Oh, okay.
So you can see he kind of has that sick blend. So overall, it is a great job blending. This guy's a really good high level painter that is getting over into playing the game more.
Nice.
So very encouraging that he shows up. That's really much we're talking about what things are about. That's what the community, in my opinion, is kind of mostly about, is we're trying to bridge the gap between the casuals, the competitive, and the hobbyists, and everybody can just all get along together here, all appreciate Orks, because we're the only faction in 40K that's having fun in the far-flung future where there is only war. And that's because we enjoy all parts of our living conditions, including the hobbying, the competitive play, and then the casual part.
Yep.
That's exactly what Orks do, and that's why we do it right. You know what I'm saying? I put these both on here, but it is a work in progress. But I really just wanted to appreciate the fact how he actually is pulling off. If you told me you're gonna paint Orks as like gray and like an odd off green, I wouldn't believe you. But then when you do it, I'm like, actually, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's coming together.
Yeah,
nicely.
it's actually coming together pretty sick. I'm the squig buggy, when you put the white paper, because he did this picture later, helped, because the one you have down here with the box doesn't help. So if anybody ever takes pictures, do that with the white paper. The way it helps you kind of actually highlight it, because if this was just a gray background, we wouldn't be able to appreciate the actual distinction of this. Also, it's a little hard to tell here because I put the pictures, but even though he kept the Orks really dark, he did strictly highlight like their heads and their muscles, so they actually have good muscle definition too. So he did a great job with that. Oh, it's Mr. Two's actually. Those are my Orks, my boys. All the Orks are a part of it. We do war. Exactly. Orks never war alone. He said both. Oh God. Okay. You again, dude. These Archimedes logic, you guys up in here. And then here is I guess this Beast Snagger Boy has been promoted, and then he was given this for his promotion endeavors.
A nice little backstory.
It's a nice little backstory about how he was going up against the guard, and he disembarked, and he survived incoming fire, made it, got stuck in, and crunked properly for you gits. In Discord, he could share it again, and then we can go over it again. But I thought it was a very good paint job, and it was sick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So let's go over a couple more chats before we log off here. I think it was a successful 2 hours and a good hobby stream. So I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks all of you guys for being here. It was fun.
Soup, no, it is not. If you look at your grout models, I understand. If you look at your grout models, they actually have big belt buckles. Now, are the guys talking about that's what they're looking at? Probably. You know what I'm saying? So we do have some weird words. That's what they're using it for. He says, I have 4 squiggoffs. I'm making 5th right now. You're a psychopath. Why do you have 4?
Why do
Right?
you have 4?
You can only run 3. Maybe they look different.
Unless you're running Apocalypse.
You're running Apocalypse. There you go.
Or was
That's awesome.
the 30,000 point?
The promotion saga was top tier. Which one?
Yeah, it was. Thank you. I don't know what he's talking
about. Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, I missed something. Is cereal a soup? Yes. If you freeze it, it's a cookie. You guys are crackheads. All right, so, all right, everybody. That was a great stream. I appreciate everybody who clocked in. You guys stuck in there for a hot minute. You know, it's been going on. We're going to try to do these at least once a month, because there are some guys that I know do actually enjoy being here that weren't here this time, that didn't get to see it. So shout out to you if you guys show up and talk about this later. And overall, I enjoy doing these. It's also good to reinforce that we're not all about just playing competitive and even though we're called War Tactics, just being born. We're not Ospec tactics imitators. We're really about the Ork community as a whole, right? And that comes down to the hobbyist, the enthusiast when it comes to kit bashing, the guys who play competitively. Because in reality, I mean, even someone like Sean Naden, you wouldn't think of in your top of your head, but that guy has really cool painted stuff and kit bash stuff that he put together too. So he's just like one of us too. And we've seen Mark Perry. Shout out to Mark Perry if you somehow get this far. But Mark Perry's been appearing in our comment section here and there. So if you see him in our comment section, show him some love so he shows back up. You know, like he's like a wild boy just coming out of the bushes. You know, so comment on Mark Perry if he appears, because those guys are, that's the whole point of actually the community, right? Mark Perry is low key a very fun, enthusiastic kind of guy, but on paper he's wrecking people, right? So you would think, man, that guy must be a what's that guy from our brain fart?
From where?
From our war. Siegs, right? He's like a Siegler where he's like, well, right? But no, he's not like that. He's exactly like us. He's just way better than 40K than us. But that's why our community exists, is to bring us all together. That way the painters can assist me because I have no painting skills. Then I can hopefully assist you with us playing. That's part of why this is all put up for. And then I think there was a comment I was looking at that I thought was funny. And then we're going to get off here. I do need the Christmas bandana though, huh? Dave, what do you think? Christmas bandana, or what should I do?
You got 2 weeks to get it done.
Oof. This is what I thought was funny. He said, their cousins, Eddie has a whole family coming to co-host on his channel. It's funny because I do have another cousin that comes up here maybe once in a while, Christian, but he plays World Eaters competitively. He plays often, all the time, very well informed in 40K. And then David, and then a bunch of friends. So yeah, we do have a good amount of people who play 40K with us between my family and my friends. It's a blessing, never occurs. So let's see, last comment, those comments. The war boss of the commissar had, exactly. Together with real life Gork and Morka. Your war boss is still going is awesome. Thanks. I think you had a game, right? Rhoda hit me up because we're gonna be doing the TTS thing here soon. I got to get it going. All right, guys, but that's it for this hobby stream. But there's one thing to keep in mind: don't cross a wall, because we knock your teeth out. Whoa!